show is for adults, by adults, using adult language, role playing adult situations, and possible controversial topics. No situations or topic reflects the views of the dungeon master or the players in real life. You have been warned. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Hey, Zarius.
Hello. Who's that?
I'm that terribly creepy villain you've been working on. I
Oh,
had some thoughts about some terribly overpowered abilities that I could use against your players as they fight wave after wave of my seemingly endless minion horde.
that sounds really fun, but I don't know where my notebook is right now for my dungeon
You
notes.
fool! You should be using World Anvil.
World Anvil? What's World Anvil?
World Anvil has everything you need to start creating and building
Really?
your world. You can upload maps, make character or villain profiles, timelines, update world lore, and much, much more.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna have to definitely sign up for. Why are you laughing like that?
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. And of course, welcome back as I hand over to the Masters of Ceremonies, our GM Kim.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vow of the Keepers, episode 10. Double digits, everybody. We made it.
Woohoo!
Just want to let everyone know that we are proudly sponsored by World Anvil, which has everything you need to start creating and building your world. You can sign up for free and get started right away at worldanvil.com. You can also join their Discord at the link that's over in the chat. Actually, I think it's over that way. And we also want to make sure that we thank Roll20 for their generous support. They provide us with a pro account and core books to help run these crazy sessions that my players put up with. Just want to let everyone know that we are 7 subs away from our next giveaway. We just had one last night, Sunday night on the channel. That was good stuff, hitting those milestones, getting things given away.
Considering Vixtar just dropped 4 gift subs in chat, we are 3 away.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yes.
Surprise. We are three subs away from the next giveaway. Woo! Congrats all around on that. So we will get going here. Please bear with me. I haven't been feeling super well, but we're gonna try to make it through the session as best we can. We are picking up right where we left off, which was mostly with Czar getting clawed wide open by a night hag. Surprise! So over here we've got. If everyone wants to go ahead and roll initiative.
Not cool.
Well, looks like we got a raffle.
Ah!
We'll roll initiative in just a second. Let me go ahead and get this giveaway open before we start.
Oh,
Oh, God, tickled.
Because he just dropped another 4 gift subs. Vixtar, you are an amazing person. And I'm glad I get to say so. You caught us before we actually, started, so I can thank you properly.
Oh, no, we're timed. How dare you?
How dare you?
Kitty, leave my foot alone.
I need to roll.
Oh, that tickles. Fuck.
Alright. So as we roll initiative, everybody make sure this is the last I'm going to speak of it until we roll for this on our break. We will give away a dice tower.
ooh, dice.
Ooh.
So type exclamation
yeah,
point raffle to join. And
Trade it for a bag of dice.
Can we play too?
I don't know why. I just love buying like the pound of dice. Like I don't even need it. It's just fun to buy.
Did
alright,
it reset
initiative.
from last time? Hopefully.
Wait, it says she entered the Fuck. X. raffle generator is broken. Wait, who else rolled 9 where he has to roll a 9.15?
I don't know.
It's just the setting that you can choose to put your dex tiebreaker. It's a setting on the Roll20 sheets.
Okay, so we've got initiative rolled for everybody. Kinley's bringing up the rear. So Czar, you are going to get first crack at this night hag, who has sorry, we didn't actually resolve that claw that she got in on you. So she hit you for 14 damage on that claw attack.
14 damage.
Yeah,
Ouch!
she got a
All right.
big old slices out of you.
Czar is not pleased. And this is
I
the
bet.
one that hit him, right?
Yeah, right, the one right next to you and Lucy.
All right, so she claws me. I just sort of look at her for a moment, frown, and I get big again.
Oh boy. While we're at night, so.
Throw her back in the mud, and then leave.
So,
We'll have the advantage.
this other thing here. Right, so main hand attack.
Crit!
Very nice.
So that would be 12 plus 11, 23 damage on that first hit.
Okay.
Bonus action offhand.
That hits.
Okay, another 9 damage. I am going to action surge because she really upset me. Oh wait. I get 2 attacks with my main hand. Sorry. So, oh no, I don't. Not yet.
You're,
Okay.
you're not level
Not-
6.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite yet.
So for my third attack, just gonna use my main hand weapon again and miss.
Nope, that one misses.
And I'm gonna use lucky to re-roll it. Do I have lucky points? Yes, I'm using my last lucky point to re-roll that. And
That'll hit.
for another 11.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Very nice. So you got your rapiers out, so you're doing a lot of poke action more than slicing, but you get a couple good stabs in there. She's trying to kind of shake and shimmy out of the way, but you do a decent amount of damage. You hit some important parts, bits and organs and things. So it's going to roll around to Finnegan's turn.
I want to. Damn it, because I don't know if the other people are evil or not. Fuck.
That's correct.
Fine.
Oh, the conundrums.
This is so frustrating because like what I want to do would affect definitely other people. My plan was I was gonna thunder wave them all into the swamp.
I mean, you could stand next to Lucy and get at least 2.
But I don't know the other ones are evil. Let's
Yeah,
see. It could
yeah.
be just impersonating only one.
Yeah, we only know that this one's evil so far.
Mm, I'll just play it safe, I guess. I'll just ice knife it. Mm, 12 does not hit, so.
Oh,
But-
rolled it twice. Yeah, the 12 will miss.
But her and the other person have to make a DC 14 or take 4 cold damage.
Okay.
I guess Zar included, I guess, and Lucy? Or can I keep them from having to do it?
I don't think you can keep them from doing it. We'd have to double check the wording of the spell. So the hag
Wait,
makes her save.
Did Finnegan just attack me and I have to make a save?
No, I attacked her, it exploded, and you got hit with shrapnel.
Yeah, it's
So
ice knife.
Yes.
we need to make deck save.
Yep.
Save.
So yes.
Right.
Wait.
I didn't hit you. You were just, were, didn't know what was
waiting.
going on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Zar
made it.
will remember this.
Why?
Lucy will remember that.
You guys take no damage. Calm down.
Okay. The 10 cold that's on the 4 cold damage that's on the top one is the
Yeah.
shrapnel damage.
Hmm
Okay.
And it's if you succeed, you take no damage. If you fail, you take the damage.
Okay. So the hag made her save. The other one did not make their save. Let's get the check.
Ooh, would hate to see that person not be a hag.
Well, I guess we'll find out if they die or not.
Right? Joke's on you. There's actually a night hag alpha in the group.
That doesn't sound
Yeah, it's called
like something that exists.
Queen Hag.
So your ice knife goes into the ground at like the feet of the night hag and out, and everyone kind of ducks the shrapnel except for this one right here, who takes shrapnel to the chest and falls down dead. She basically took like an ice shard to the heart and just kind of a little bit of blood drips out.
Eh. I'm surprised. To be honest, though, 4 damage to kill someone is impressive.
That means
A
that they're
commoner's
a
hit points left.
commoner.
So if that's all you're looking to do, then it'll roll around to Lucy's turn.
Yup.
That's what I needed to double check. I was like, I know it's really, really low hit points, but I just needed to make sure.
You just killed a cool. Finnegan killed a civilian right next to Lucy.
Hey,
What the hell, Finnegan?
I've done a lot of questionable things. All right, I've done a lot of questionable things so
Maybe
far.
she can be healed.
Yeah, you can try.
After we deal with the night hag, so Lucy's gonna whip out her great sword and try to land a hit on her. No, I don't think that makes it.
Nope, afraid that's gonna miss.
Yep.
So you do a big like over the top swing down, and she just kind of
Miss.
sidesteps it.
A shot and a miss.
Okay, Shelly, it's your turn.
So Shelly, Zar was the one who got hurt, right?
Yeah, Zar got slashed.
So first, Shelly is going to chuck 2 jellyfish at Zar.
Don't freak out, Zar. Don't freak out. You might be pixelated.
For
Turn him into little ice cubes.
8 hit points back.
His back just kind of grows rigid as the jellyfish hits him, and he kind of looks at his arm to make sure he's not pixelating.
You calm
They
down,
were
it's Shelly.
jellyfish. Gosh.
One time, you pixelate you pixelate a bad guy one
I
time and
know.
they never let
It's
you live it
like
down.
I didn't just murder a civilian. Okay, at least that was a bad guy.
Hey,
And
You know what?
speaking
That's
of,
fair.
to be fair, I didn't aim at the civilian.
Shelly's gonna come over here and attempt to cast Cure Wounds to see if they're dead.
I thought that was my computer doing that noise, but that is not my computer.
Roll, damn it. There it goes.
Okay, so you put your hand down on the young lady and cast Cure Wounds, and she takes a deep gasp of air, and she's back alive, kind of
Hallelujah.
looking down at the ice shard in her chest, like, oh, holy shit, holy shit.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take care of that for you. And maybe somebody can watch where they're flinging ice. Maybe.
Or
That's it.
calculate their spells a bit more properly.
End of my turn.
Well, what do you expect? It was Finley.
Finnegan.
Nope, I totally said Finley.
Don't disrespect Kinley like that.
Okay, so then it is going to roll around to the hag's turn.
No.
And this hag is. What she got? Double check it. Okay. After seeing you grow big and like knock her, well, not knock her around, but get some really good hits in on her, she's going to attempt to cast Ray of Enfeeblement on Czar.
Okay.
So, let's see. PM range spell attack. Let's see if that worked. Nope, that's the spell itself.
So,
Uh,
so before she does that, I'd like to use my reaction.
2.
Activate my stone room. And she has to make a save or otherwise become charmed by me.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
What's the save?
I'm looking.
Wait. I thought I read you couldn't charm them.
Oh, yep. Condition immunity's charmed.
Doesn't mean we
Yeah.
know that or not.
Yeah,
it
my
doesn't mean you
character
know
does
that.
not know that.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
So she doesn't seem affected by the rune activating. You're not sure if maybe you didn't kick it on right. You're just kind of not like knocking on the tattoo, like, hey, hello.
yeah, it sort of glows and then fizzles, I guess. I shrug. It's worth a shot. What's my save?
Spell these. Oh, there it is. So, oof, she rolled real bad. She only rolled a 7 on the Ray of Enfeeblement attempt.
Oh,
So
okay.
that-
So
Gonna miss you. And then that is going to be her turn, unfortunately, for her. So it now rolls the rest of the ladies that you rescued from the mud pit and the horses now have the opportunity to react to what just happened, and they're basically like
Scatter.
freaking out. They're screaming, oh my god," and they are attempting to flee, just kind of running back towards where the road was.
Hey, careful. Yeah. Okay, that's the road.
The horse is just running.
Yeah, like they buck up and like whinny and holy crap, there's a night hag. In if one happens to speak horse, and they're just all booking it away from
just
the
stay clear
crazy
of the
monster.
halfling. Just
What
stay
about
clear of the halfling. He may Elsa your heart.
Is the dead
What do you
one
mean
still
by-
dead?
Say what?
The dead one still dead?
No, she's. Oh, I didn't take that off. You
I mean,
you brought her back. She's alive.
she's
She's
prone with
still,
the ice in her
still a
heart.
bit like kind of pulling herself together since she'll stand up and start to run away too. She just doesn't get quite as far because of all the confusion of being dead temporarily.
Oh, she provokes.
So then it's Kinley's turn.
All right. So I will just take a shot at her.
That's gonna miss.
Of course I will. Shoot with my other pistol.
And misses
Wow.
too.
It's gonna be one of those
And
days.
with Lucy and Czar and the hag all in close quarters, you're trying to aim in and you're just not quite zeroing in. It's kind of whizzing by. It's nighttime. It's dark. You're doing the best you can.
All right. Well, that's it.
So back around the Czar.
Alright. I'm going to attempt to kill her more
That'll hit.
for 10.
Okay.
Then offhand,
That is going to hit.
for another 15.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Very nice. Finnegan, it's around to you again. Feel free to murder other innocents as they flee.
Foot or 15-foot cube.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's the 3 squares in front of you. 3 by 3 in front of you.
So it would be you'd hit Shelly with it if you did this square to that square, 3 by 3.
Okay. Fuck it, Shillelagh!
Okay, that'll definitely hit. Um, so you pull out the sapling, cast Shillelagh on it, and it glows a little bit with some magical oomph, and just whack her across the face, kind of crack the jaw a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Lucy, it's around to you.
Okay, she'll try swinging her great. Wait, hold on. Actually, let me just see. Think I have something. An axe as bonus action? Maybe not. How much health does she even have left?
She's
Oh,
looking
yeah, hold on.
pretty beat up at this point. She's hurting pretty bad.
Yeah, no, she's just gonna try to swing her mighty great sword at her again. Nice.
Okay, that'll hit for sure. So you get a nice big cleave in, kind of around the shoulder.
That's about all I can do.
And then Shelly, it's back around to you.
Does anyone on our side look hurt still?
Zar's still a bit wounded, but he's mostly on the mend, and I don't think she's managed to hit anybody else yet.
Okay. Another jellyfish for 4 to Zar, and then Shelly will draw their spear and just kind of stand there, like, yeah.
Why don't you move back 5 feet?
Nah.
Okay, so it's around to the hag. She's pretty beat up and not feeling so hot. Let's see. So she is going to fall back on. Oh, that's okay. She's going to attempt to cast sleep.
On who?
It's a like everyone within 20 feet of her.
Alright, what saving throws?
So let's see here.
It's
Hi.
based on your hit points, which means that all of those ladies are probably going to go down first. Unless she aims it well.
Yeah, based on the person with the lowest hit points goes down first.
So literally all the ladies go down fast.
Let's see how many hit points she rolls in her sleep spell.
Yeah, so she's centering it on herself and throwing down sleep.
Wow.
And
Sleep, my ladies, sleep.
it's going to. Okay, so it is 5d8.
Hush, little ladies, don't say a word.
Where'd it go?
The little night
Hag's
hags
gonna
get...
turn you. Hag's gonna turn you into a bird. And if that little bird don't sing,
Oh shit!
Not one.
That's all of them.
Wow.
What?
That's probably all the ladies.
it's
who
about
sleep.
time
Oh,
the
boy.
DM gets the player's look in this campaign.
Yeah,
By the way, it's only red because you have one net one.
yeah.
Oh.
That's still
That's
real-
average.
Yeah, that's still pretty low.
Ooh.
So
No, that's average. That's about average.
yeah, it's literally half of what it could be. So the 5 ladies all and pass out face first into the dirt.
Well, at least they're not going to run into another swamp.
Mm.
Fair.
But that'll be all that manages to do.
Poor hag. It's okay, buddy. You can do better.
No, don't encourage her. Shelly,
Stop encouraging.
encourage
there's-
us,
I'm-
not the enemy.
I mean, there's worse things out there she could be doing.
Don't give her ideas.
So that is all she's got, and she's just like, God damn it! Very frustrated. They're all asleep, and then it's Kinley's turn.
All right, I will take a shot at her again.
Hit her, hit her, hit her. Do it. You can do it.
Oh, that,
Okay,
Oh,
that'll
fuck.
hit.
that will definitely hit.
Yeah.
And that will miss.
Yeah, I will.
What's the DC on them?
16.
No,
Aw.
to 17 or more, because I missed with a 16.
Mhm.
Ah.
So it's Zar's turn now, and she's looking real bad, like that, just sort of like various wounds and blood, and there's a gash in her shoulder from Lucy's sword, and she's looking like she doesn't have a whole lot left in her.
Are our weapons magical?
You don't.
Yours was for the shillelagh, but no one else's were.
Not all creatures require magical weapons to take down.
Well, some have resistances.
Right? Some don't.
So that's 19 more damage altogether.
You're hitting like a truck, Czar. You're hitting like a motherfucking truck.
And at that, she's going to let out a scream and fall down dead.
She starts screaming. I just want to cut off her head. I don't want to hear that.
Ah, damn it! I want you to like bottom of the heel, just dig into her face. That's what I want.
Zar's not cruel. He's effective.
Well, yeah, you put your heel in her mouth, she can't scream.
So, anyway, that's the end of combat. The 5 remaining ladies are all
Sleeping.
snoring, sleeping soundly in the dirt. They may wake up with the slight bruising from falling on their face.
Oh, yoy.
But
What
that
are we-
will.
I'm reloading all my pistols.
What are we gonna do with them?
What are we gonna
Like,
do?
Nothing. We
place
save them, wake them up, and send them on their way. They're not our responsibility anymore.
And the horses are just gone. They're off into the night.
But they have no horses. That's dangerous.
When you travel with the hag, things will end up bad. I shrug.
I'm gonna
Maybe
go
they
wake one
didn't
of them up.
know.
I'm gonna go wake one of them up.
One of them. The one that's been stabbed in the heart by Ice Shard.
Sure.
Yep.
Wake her up.
Okay. So you give her a good shake and wake her up.
Who do you think I am?
That's
I mean,
Shelly we're
that
talking
just
about.
feels like the norm for this group. Would be
You
no,
think we
no-
don't
no
have
smelling
salts?
no smelling
No?
salt.
Yeah.
Not
Shelly
even the
is
medieval
not the
kind.
norm for this group.
So you give her like a gentle, hey, night hag's dead. Time to wake up.
Yeah,
Sleep time's over.
mostly I want to ask if the person who was over there now dead, like, was she part of your group?
So she's like kind of groggy and still a little half asleepish, and it's like, what? No, we met her on the road. She asked to join our group headed for Soga. She wanted to, just we thought it would be safer to travel as a bigger group, and she seemed nice enough. And then her horse broke off into the woods, and we gave chase and wound up in the mud. And I don't know. Oh, that was really scary.
But you know all the rest of these ladies? Like,
Yeah, we were all traveling together. We found her traveling alone, and we thought that was just, I mean, the roads could be so dangerous, especially now, and people are getting attacked and stuff, and so we invited her to join us, and she seems so nice. This is so bad.
you guys are going to Soga?
Mm-hmm. There's a big tournament going on. They said they weren't gonna cancel even after the earthquake, so we were hoping we could go and watch.
I mean, they probably won't agree with this, but we're also going to Soga.
I'd agree.
And I mean, you guys don't seem to be doing so great out here by yourselves, and now you don't have a horse. So, like, I think you should probably stick with us. Till we
Zar's
get to
Zar's gonna look over toward Shelly and girl and say, "Why are you so pessimistic all the time, Shelly? Why would we have any problem with a group of defenseless ladies traveling with us to a place we're going? We are keepers, after all." As I'm searching through the hag's body.
Because of your terrific manners.
Yeah, your bedside manner is not great, and Finnegan's aim is not either. So,
Oh, yeah,
Well,
talk
that's
about that
true,
later.
but we never assume what the other people in the group may do.
I mean,
I
I
never
was
seen
just
that from
extending
Finnegan.
the invitation from myself. If you guys are cool with that, then that's fine. If not, then I'll just travel with them. But you guys
Oh
are
no,
welcome
I'm
to travel with
perfectly
me,
fine
so-
with traveling with them. The only problem I had is that you assumed that we wouldn't want to.
Zara, drop it.
Okay. I'm gonna go wake up the other ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
She's
Yes,
having
I am
plenty of
searching the
stuff.
hag.
Okay, so one by one, you get them to rouse. They're a little groggy from the magical sleep, but eventually you get them all up on their feet, and they're kind of shaking it off and stuff. Zar, go ahead and make a quick investigation check for me,
Hey, we
because
can share horses.
she's all bloodied up and wounded, and in her nasty rag clothing and stuff like that. So you do find a piece of parchment, piece of paper that lists a description of each of you, and at the
Oh.
bottom it just says dead or alive, reward to be decided.
To be
Mm.
decided.
Is my description totally awesome turtle person?
Hmm.
It's a little more literal, more so than
Does it say who's offering the reward?
You guys would just see Czar kind of get this look of amusement on his face and just roll up the piece of paper and stick it in his pocket.
What'd you
So
find?
we don't know about it.
I'll tell you later, but for right now, I'm feeling a good little bit of nostalgia, and
Oh,
I just want to relish it just for a little.
you know that worries me actually. But maybe. Well, okay. Let's just talk about something else. All right. Maybe we can take each one lady on a horse after we're done camping through the night.
Sure. And I'll toss the hag's body into the quicksand.
Lucy's gonna look at this guy to like evaluate how much nighttime they still got.
You know, Lucy, as I stand there watching the body sink into the quicksand, all cemeteries should be made out of this. It would make burying people so much easier. You just throw them in and they bury themselves.
What
It
sinks
fills
can
up
come
eventually.
back up?
Oh, yes, but what is buried can be dug up. I'm just saying, when we're done with all of this and we retire as keepers, we should just open a quicksand cemetery and we can clean up.
You can do that just by yourself. Oh, I think I'll find myself something else to do.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting I don't have a rich family inheritance to look forward to.
Well, you're a friend of mine. Who says you kinda don't have that?
It's not the same. I didn't earn that. That's your family's money.
I just admitted to be ready to share my wealth, and this is how you react to it? God.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you share your wealth with me when I earn it. We'll take it from you, whichever comes first. And I just grin at you.
She's like glaring at you by, by that last sentence, like, how dare you? She's just gonna turn and like, alright, let's get back to camp. I gather we can probably still get a few hours of sleeping in.
Back
Yeah,
to
so
camp it is.
you make your way back to your campsite, and then settle in for the night. Get some sleep. The ladies join you in the campsite. They're much closer to the campfire that you set up than the rest of you were. Kind of doing like a 2-ring perimeter inside for safety. And the rest of the night goes by uneventful. You wake up the next morning a little. You got a decent amount of sleep. You're a little stiff from the fight, but for the most, she didn't get you all that bad. So you're feeling okay and ready to make your way the rest of the way to Soga.
Sounds good.
Yay.
Before departing, I will pass a word of advice on to the ladies to watch out for the little man because he has a habit of getting people in trouble. Or, plunging icicles into people's hearts.
And the one girl who actually took a shard just kind of gets real pale for a moment, just like looking down at where it was, and
Shelly, maybe you should take care of this one. Lucy just kind of like tells Shelly, like leans towards Shelly while saying that.
Oh, and just to be clear, none of you ladies have a scroll of sending, right?
no, if we did, we would have used it to try to call for. Well, that wouldn't have really helped us. It would have taken him forever to get to us, but we don't have one, unfortunately. No.
All right.
She was more talking like emotional scars.
Yeah,
than...
she's a little PTSD-ish from
I
being
see.
dead for a little while.
Otherwise,
as
this would have
brief
taken
as
care of
brief
it.
as it was.
Shelly is absolutely going to chat up whichever people are nearest them. So I'll take that one on my horse if y'all want.
Yeah. Sounds
Alright.
good to me.
Off to Soga. Quite interested in this tournament.
I hope
So
we won't get
you
into the tournament again.
reach
we
the
know
second
how that
crossroads, trotting along, horses, blah blah blah. Make your way south down the road to Soga, and around lunchtime-ish, probably you arrive at the north end. There we go.
Fancy.
The north end of Soga. So you come in on a south road and you see these, like, off in the distance you start to see these massive coliseums and arenas and things, and first and foremost you also notice these massive couple 100 feet tall, like Statue of Liberty size statues that are almost like guarding the main entryway into Soga. So you come on to, let's bring you onto the map here.
This reminds me of playing like Caesar 3.
So you pass some like local farms and things along the road there, and then you come up onto this pathway here. You're passing those big statues. Let's see. Kinley, if you can go ahead and make a history check for me.
Oakley dokley.
Womp womp.
Okay. So as you pass by the statues, this one right here, the person, she seems vaguely familiar, but you're not really sure why. Like
Which one?
this middle one here.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's for some reason she looks familiar. You can't quite remember why. It might have been like a history lesson in one of your keeper classes or something, but you're not. It's a little like I don't know. So you make your way in to town here. You hear the roar of the crowd coming from the arenas. There's clearly events going on. This whole area in here is just full of people and shops and vendors and stalls selling like food and snacks and tchotchkes, souvenirs. You know, I was at the great tournament, T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. It's a very sort of raucous, celebratory atmosphere. Even with all the kind of craziness from the earthquake a couple days before, things have kind of calmed back down and the tournament's resumed and they're back in full swing and everyone's just trying to keep their spirits up and be as all in it as they can. So, what would you like to do? Where would you like to go? What would you... exploration?
I want to learn more about the well. Shelly may or may not have a one-track mind.
I'm quite curious about this tournament.
Zara's gonna say, "Oh, go ahead." thought you were done.
I was gonna lean into Zara and like, hey Zara, you care for scouting out possibilities of gambling opportunities?
You both better not get enrolled into the tournament and get your ass whooped like it happened to Czar back in Alistair.
I'm just saying. I can't guarantee that.
Lucy,
Would you really
such
go
language.
with Finnegan?
Such language, Lucy. I would not expect such crude words to come from such a devout and holy lady.
Lucy's gonna be like, I didn't even curse. What?
He said ass.
Oh. You know what? She's been hanging out with you so much, she probably didn't register that she said ass.
What, do you think Czar's the type of person that says ass? God, so rude.
Yeah, totally.
He's just taunting you anyway.
Yeah,
He's gonna
she knows.
look back to Finnegan and kind of like lean away from him. He doesn't feel they're close enough that Finnegan should just be able to just lean up against him.
At that point, I'll take a
Kind
gold
of-
coin and like flip it up in the air, like flipping it heads or tails kind of thing, and landing in my hand.
Okay, he's gonna say, I think business before pleasure is always the best course of action. So we need to find the keeper and perhaps get Kinley to work on her 12,000 tons of iron in her bag over there.
We'll be here all year.
Lucy looks up at the dome. Well, let's make that a couple days at most.
Well, we're gonna be here while Shelley investigates that well.
I thought
So,
we were all investigating the well together.
She's the only one who can swim.
oh no, I can swim. I just can't, hold my breath for that long. But
Either.
we need to find the keeper.
Yes.
We do have other business here other than the well. So, I suggest we get it all taken care of before we take part in any pleasantries.
Sounds fine by me.
Okay, so you pass through. I'm on the wrong area. Like that. So you work your way through, passing all the different vendor stalls, food vendors, tchotchke vendors, all that kind of fun stuff. You pass the Grand Arena. It looks a bit like the Colosseum in Rome, just scaled up significantly from there. It's just gigantic. It looks like a modern sports arena scale, but
Okay.
with that traditional stone aesthetic. Like, it's real big. And then if you keep moving along, you'll see the Champions Coliseum on your left. It's got a big, name on the side of the building. It's a smaller version of the Grand Arena. It's like one step down. Still pretty grandiose and very ornate and elaborate and stuff. You're kind of looking at it like, did they really need two of these? And then on your right is a smaller still arena that's called the Rung. It doesn't seem quite as ornate and grandiose, and the attendance seems a little bit lower. It looks like it might be where the rookies start out. It's their first chance to really step into the fight in front of a crowd kind of a arena. And then come into this first major intersection, you see a huge clock tower kind of looming up above you, so that way they can keep people posted on the times of matches and things of that sort. Bells will ring on the hour and all that fun stuff. And then where are you actually looking to go?
I
Like,
guess
are you gonna
we
stop
would-
and ask for directions, or what are you looking to do here?
Yeah, I figure we would stop and ask for the best place to find candidate keeper. I've got this somewhere in my notes.
Was it Orla?
Yes,
Yeah.
where to find her at.
Okay. Most of the vendors and things like that, they would just direct you towards trying to find some of the SOGA staff, teachers, those kinds of types, they'll be able to help you more. That like we don't keep tabs on keepers, you know.
Brofiel,
So-
the headmistress.
And do any of these keepers or shopkeepers, by the way, as we're checking with them for directions and whatnot, do any of them have a scroll of sending?
Lucy's gonna just like phase out that question by some point.
So you're not looking. Are you going like stall by stall to try to find this, or are you just asking incidentally as you go?
Currently, just the places we stop.
Okay, so you do not manage to find one just sort of incidentally along the way.
Right.
Most of the vendors here aren't selling magic items and things like that. It's mostly bare essentials for the spectators and stuff.
Okay.
We want to ask for where Brofiel is, the headmistress. That's top brass person we want to talk to.
Okay, so the vendors and stuff direct you to find staff. You eventually flag down somebody who looks like an employee of some sort, like a formal works for SOGA type, and they'll tell you that where the teacher's residence is off over here, which would be where the headmistress lives / where their office is. But right now, they are in the Grand Arena overseeing a match. It should be wrapped up here in a little while if you want to wait around, or if you want to go inside and watch. And then we should be able to help you. I'm assuming you flashed your badges to flex some authority on that. Otherwise, they'd be like,
So, learning this information, then Czar would kind of look at Finnegan and say, and sometimes business and pleasure walk the same street.
Oh boy.
We're just scoping things out while gathering information. This is totally normal for investigation purposes. Business, guys. Business.
Business, right.
And shall we?
I guess Finnegan and Czar at least will head toward the Grand Arena.
If that's where she's at, I'm heading to the arena. Other than that, you know.
You don't want to go to a blacksmith's place and say, "Hey, mind if I just occupy your blacksmith for the next 4 days?"
Yeah, I'm just walking and say I'm stealing your shop for a while.
You're not stealing it. You're sequestering it with the power of the
I am
keepers.
sequestering. I am.
You've tried to do that
I am-
already once before.
I am
Keep it up.
commandeering their shop.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get more iron from.
Yeah, see, they could have spare iron for you here. You should give it a shot.
Yes, just take all of the nails and horseshoes.
Lucy would probably follow Finnegan and Czar if Keeper Orla is there. Also
We don't know where
make
we don't know where Keeper Orla is.
I do want
letting
to,
her there.
I do want to note also, Dungeon Master, as always in a new town, Czar is keeping his eye out for shady-looking people to which to commune with.
mm-hmm.
Commune. Such a nice way to put it.
Yeah, we'll work on that. So you approach the main entrance to the Grand Arena. They ask for tickets. You guys got tickets?
I show them my ticket.
I'll show them my badge.
That's my ticket.
Yeah, my ticket.
Also
And they're
my
like,
badge.
well, we fully respect the authority of the keepers, but you still have to pay to get in. You just get a keeper's discount.
No. We get in, or we arrest you.
It's a little overboard.
This is just the protocol, sir. I don't make the
And does
rules,
your
I just-
protocol override Imperial law? Because if it does, let me know right now.
As far as I know, there's not an Imperial law that says keepers get into SOGA for free. This is just always how it's been. Nobody's ever the previous keepers have been fine with this. I'm just a ticket taker. I don't like. You could.
We are here on official business, not to partake or enjoy the festivities. We are here to speak to. I point to Finnegan. What's her name?
Brofiel, the headmistress.
So, if you'd prefer, you can send somebody to fetch her from the festivities and bring her out here, or you can let us in. Which do you think would be most convenient?
And they'll just be like, just a second, and they'll like flag over somebody who looks slightly more managerial, and
I
they
love
kind
this
of
method.
whisper,
I would-
whisper back and forth a little bit.
I would like to speak to your manager, please.
Yeah, you've got the whole Karen
Yes.
haircut thing going on right now.
Yep.
We have a group, Karen. Great.
Yeah, so a little bit of whispering back and forth, and there's some muttering, and you pick up the word keepers in there once or twice because you know to listen for it. And eventually the manager type is like, that'll be fine if we'll direct you to Brofiel's booth box, like
Sweet.
owner's suite basically, and they kind of escort you to a private spiral stairwell that goes up to where you want to be.
Just curious, how much is admission,
It's
by the
probably-
way?
so-
For the grand arena for this tournament, it would have been 10 gold a person.
What about the keeper's discount?
It would have been
9
5.
9 gold. You don't get
That's
no
like
fucking
50%
discount.
off. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Interesting.
But
Either
you didn't want to pay. You wanted to just barge right in, being all rude and stuff.
He
Breaking.
doesn't have the money to pay for a ticket, anyways. He's just spending it on his summoning or his scroll of sending.
Someday he'll find one.
Another one, yes.
So you make your way up the spiral staircase, and it takes you to basically a single door that's just labeled, private booth headmistress.
Shit. Okay. Finnegan is like thoroughly impressed that this whole staircase leads to just one room. Like, oh, okay, we're dealing with someone like her.
Yeah, there's other staircases that go to like the luxury box level, and then there's just this one that goes to the headmistress's space. So you're gonna knock or barge right in, and you're gonna
I will
kick
knock.
the door off the hinges,
I
fireball it,
Knock.
whatever you want to do there.
You have that spell? Knock?
No, I knock with my fist.
Oh.
Knock is
No.
a spell.
I know, it's so
You-
mundane, I know.
you give it a knock, and what you would assume is probably like an attendant of some sort opens the door, and it's like, can I help you?
Just show my badge.
Oh, right. Can I help you with something?
No,
I'm
the headmistress can help us with something.
I'm gonna like duck around the badge and go, we're in need of headmistress Brophilia's help. If we could speak to her just real quick, that'd be great.
Yes, of course you can speak to Brofiel. He'll be with you in just a moment if you'd like to step inside.
Thank you very much. I apologize about them.
So
That is no shit.
you slide into the room. You see like a big chair overlooking the arena, and sitting in the chair is a decently tall for a dwarf male, big bushy beard per stereotype.
Nice.
It's like a deep, rich brown. You can't fully see his face because you're behind him, but he's looking pretty stout and sturdy from what you can tell at a distance. The attendant will walk up and go to like whisper in his ear and get a bit of like a shake from like, why are you interrupting me watching this fight? But eventually they exchange words a little bit, and you can see like okay, sort of slight change in demeanor of like, okay. So meanwhile you're hearing all the like crowd noise pouring in from the arena itself. If you're looking out, you just see like row after row of people screaming and yelling and cheering, and there's signs and banners, and they're all going nuts for these fights. So eventually, Brofield stands up and gets out of his chair and turns around and is just like, okay. What can I do for another fresh batch of keepers in my beautiful school?
Another.
Well, we're in need of your help. We are on a mission to, solve the whole dome issue kind of thing. And we're hoping you could help us find Orla, by chance. We're in need of reconnecting with some of our other members to strengthen ourselves for the battle against demon uprising. If you don't mind helping us out, that'd be great.
Zara's just kind of face palming over in the corner.
You get kind of like I'm sorry, did you say demon uprising?
Yeah, that's what we're up against. And if you could help us, that'd be great.
Well, we've had a relationship with the keepers for as long as we've been since our founding, so I'm more than happy to cooperate as best I can. At that, it kind of clicks for you a little bit, Kinley, that the school was founded by one of the original Grand Masters. That's who that statue in the middle was of. She was one of the original Grand Masters and founded SOGA for training fighters and barbarians and rangers and everyone else.
So literally while standing there and they're doing their kind of like, oh, that's who that was.
What? Who?
Facepalm intensifies. And he just kind of speaks through his hand. We're also going to need use of a forge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
forge.
yeah.
I need a forge for quite a while, actually. But I have a lot of work to do.
All right. Well, I would actually. That's a bit of a two birds, one stone situation. Then the last time I spoke to Orla, she was heading for Terra and Niwin's forge over in the armorers and weapons district. She was a little close to the chest on why. She didn't really want to give a lot of info, but that's the last I had spoken to her. She was there. So that would be where you'd want to go, which that would be over this way here on the map.
Much appreciation, Master Dwarf.
I will bow and say I apologize for ruining your
Can we just awkwardly,
spectatorship of the fight.
awkwardly nods? Thanks.
And Zar will give a slight inclination of his head. We will take no more of your time today. Enjoy the festivities.
Do keep me posted on this demon uprising.
Yeah, we're gonna hope that it doesn't come to an uprising. That's our plan here. Yeah. Well, talk to you soon. It's like Finnegan just like starts like shuffling towards the door.
Yeah, you're very cavalier with your spreading of information on. Like, oh, by the way, there's like demons pouring out of a special pocket hell.
Hey, I didn't say where they're coming from.
Lunch.
I didn't say where they're coming from.
So
I felt like telling the number one person running of SOGA right now is kind of important of knowing what could be facing their town in the future if we fuck up this well.
That's fair.
Zar resists the urge of throwing Finnegan down the stairs.
Finnegan and Kimberly start tumbling together.
So you make your way back down and out. Brofield, just let me know if there's anything you need. As I said, we're happy to accommodate keepers. Even if you want to try your hand in some of our training grounds, We're always happy to put keepers through their paces, make them earn those badges of theirs.
Zlar kind of grins just a little bit. We might take you up on that. Thank you again, Master Dwarf.
He kind of gives you a nod and goes back to his chair. Snaps for the attendant to go and grab him another drink. And,
They have a hippodrome here.
mhm.
They have swarms of hippos. That's awesome.
No, they're actually constructs. It should be hippodrone.
Oh, drones! They're
No.
drones in the shape of hippos. Are they mountains? Can I get one?
You're too tiny to ride a hippo.
Okay, so you come back down into the spectators square where there's all the shops and things and hustle and bustle of spectators and stuff like that. You make your way westward, back towards that main intersection with the clock tower. Passing by, is that the way you're going, or you're just running around?
Yeah, she would just go straight there.
Full speed ahead in Wild Shape Farm. Just a jaguar running around. I'm just kidding. Just go whee.
Okay, so you pass by the Rung, the Champions Coliseum, an arena that looks like it would accommodate horse races and horse handling events and things like that. That's the Hippodrome. You pass a large tower called the Mount. It's all sealed in on all sides, so you're not really sure what the heck that's for, but it's some sort of competition space, maybe. It's a little vague. If you stop and ask, somebody will tell you. But so you make your way into the crafts district. You see a bunch of different forges. There's weapons makers, armorers, leather workers, fletchers, smiths, you name it. If it's a weapon made out of a material, it's being made in this space. So you poke around a little bit, ask some questions. Eventually you get directed to Terra and Niwin's forge in particular, and you walk in. You give a knock, or don't bother knocking, but you show up at the door.
I mean, it's a forge. It's open, right?
There's
I bang on a shield. Announcing my presence.
Mhm.
Face palming once more.
Finnegan.
It's like their doorbell or their little bell thing on their service counter. Just tap on a shield. Same thing.
No.
I'm beginning to think the size of someone's stature does denote their brain size and intellectual capacity.
But isn't he supposed to be a librarian?
Maybe the books are really small where he comes from.
I've heard that one, similar to the ones about that I apparently read too many picture books, but whatever.
Oh, do you like the ones that pop up when you open them?
I have not come across one in a long, long time.
Perhaps you should start a series, publish.
Ooh, that could be a good money side gig right there. I like your thinking.
Yes.
Plenty of your kind would be buying those.
My kind can't afford books.
That's true. You're spending it on scrolls. I understand.
So at that, a elf with long red hair, braided up into a single pleat, walks out of a small back room, kind of with a cloth rubbing some kind of grease or dirt off her hands, and she's just like, "Oh, so what can I do for you?"
We're looking for candidate keeper Orla.
Oh, I'm afraid you missed her by a couple of days. When the earthquake kicked off, she took off. She didn't say where. It's just kind of her thing. She disappears for a while, comes back covered in dirt and grime. I think she's some kind of archaeology enthusiast or something. She likes to go dungeon delving, and then she comes back bruised and battered, and we gotta put all of her gear back together for her.
I'll show him my badge. Yes, we were hoping to speak with her. But it's good she's out and about and trying to solve problems.
So are you guys hear about the weapon that she dropped off?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. We do require use of a forge if yours would be available for Kinley and I to do some work. But yes, you would speak to Kinley about that weapon.
Okay. Hey, Tara. She like calls back, and around the corner comes a dwarf. Decent, like average-ish, a little below average height for a dwarf, and she's covered in soot and grime from clearly having been at the forge herself, hammering away at something. And she kind of rounds the corner and is like, What's up? What's going on?" And you can loop her in.
Yes. We require use of the forge for an unknown period of time at this point.
Just a day for me, but she's got 115 pounds of iron she wants to rot into boomsticks.
Oh, so you've been fiddling with these weird weapon things that Orla dropped off by us?
I've been doing much more than fiddling with them. I mean, these are very archaic ones here.
Yeah, we've been pulling apart and putting back together the one that Orla gave us. I guess that may have come from you originally, but it's been fascinating stuff. We've made some really good progress on kind of wrapping our heads around what it's going to be. We think there's a lot of potential in this to be a whole new field of weaponry.
Oh, but of course it is. And of course I will, of course, need all of your assistance in building the parts that we need, as it's going to be a big job and a lot of experimenting.
Yeah, definitely. We've been doing a bit of experimenting ourselves. Niwin does most of the fine part tinkering nonsense, and I do most of the heavy lifting. And Niwin kind of gives her like a bit of a sideways glance, like heavy lifting. I do my fair share too. Thank you very much. Like they have that bit of a back and forth relationship where they're always like, I contribute a lot to this group. Okay. Just because I don't swing a super heavy hammer and I use fine parts doesn't mean I'm not doing anything while I'm in my shop all day. Like that's that kind of a back and
Love
forth
it.
between the two of them. So they're always kind of they're best of friends, but they're always kind of snipping at each other a little bit like that.
All right, well, I would say get ready to work, because I pull out my schematics and unfold the large pieces of paper, slap it down on the counter, the whole blueprint laid out. This is what we have to build.
I just need an anvil and a furnace and a couple of casts. I've got my own tools. I don't need any assistance with what I'll be doing. So
Okay. I've got a piece in progress at the moment. I'll finish it up by the end of the day, and then you can
well, if
feel
you want
free.
to, if you want to help Kinley, I can finish the piece up for you if you'd like.
Yeah,
Kind of a payment.
it's just a standard broadsword if you know how to make a broadsword.
Yes.
Okay. It's nothing too special. It's just a stock item, so I can let you knock that out for me. It's right around the corner there, and then they start digging into the plans that
Yeah.
Kinley's drawn up,
Yeah.
and they're looking at comparing notes to some of the stuff that they've been drafting themselves, especially Niwin with some of the mechanisms for the repeating pistol, getting multiple shots off, and so I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's a really good way to make that happen. And they're like a lot of note comparing, and like, yeah, no, I could make something like that in a couple of hours probably. We could prototype that. They're already pouring into the notes and stuff.
Ting ting, ting ting.
So I will help them in building all this stuff, and we will get the parts made. And
Oh boy.
And
Okay,
I'll leave some of the work to them as I spend some time finishing up the drawing of the rifle.
mhm. So in total, it will take a couple of days to get
Yeah.
this all prototyped out and stuff like that. But they're gonna dig right into it.
Yeah.
That'll. So in the meantime, what does everyone else want to get up to here in Soga? Because Czar's gonna lose a day to doing what he wants to do in the forge. Kinley's gonna lose probably about 3 or 4 to all of this prototyping shenanigans to get everything made and tested and actually functional. So you've got a couple of days here in town to get up to shenanigans as you see fit.
Hey, what's this nature's playground thing? What's that about?
Okay. So if you consult with staff members, they explain that the Nature's Playground is a training facility to expose people to different elements. So each building is like intense cold, intense heat, high altitude training, um, desert environment, jungle environment. It's basically a little bit of each biome in an isolated little room to train in.
Fantastic. I'm an expert on this cold biome. I'm needing some help on the other ones for sure. Or I could learn how to master the cold. I like mastery more. I'm going with mastery. I want to become Mr. Freeze. The shop's name is Terra in Win. Terra in Win. I'm assuming that.
Yeah, they're unlike some of the other forges. Their shop doesn't have a witty name. They're just known by their reputation.
All right.
Perfect.
The spot that has their name above it literally is blank. Didn't even waste money or materials on making a name that even say the word Smith. It's just, it is what it is.
There's a reason Orla went to them and not anybody else in town to work on this. Their reputation precedes.
That's what Czar kind of figured. And I'm guessing the forge is a good forge.
Oh yeah,
Like-
it's top tier quality. Everything that you could need. Well stocked fires. You'll get good heat for melting down materials and stuff like that. Like they could work mithril and adamantine in this forge, no problem.
Okay. The only things I want to throw out while I'm doing my work is I am going to modify. After I finish knocking out that broadsword, I will modify my blacksmith hammer so that the blunt end that you pound the metal with, the head of it, is actually inscribed with that master rune that I was showed in the dream. And I'm going to use that to build my sword, and I will also melt down a few silver coins to silver the weapon as well.
Okay.
But I know the details of the actual weapon we can work out later.
Yeah, that'll be fine. So, Lucy, Shelley, what would you like to do? Finnegan's off in the playground.
It's better than fighting in the arenas, guys. You should be thankful.
Yeah, oh boy. I'm not sure. Okay, since Czar is gonna be occupied for a day, you said Kinley for like 3.
Mhm.
She probably. I need some more thinking on this because I'm not sure.
That's fine.
Shelly is going to take the slow scenic route towards the well, stopping at every interesting thing that grabs their attention to look and chat and generally get the lay of the land.
3 years later.
eventually getting to a point where they'll start asking like people who look local the what the whole like they heard rumors of this well thing and they want to know what the story is behind it.
Okay. Um, so you work your way around town a little bit here. You pass some training grounds. You pass temples devoted to different gods of war and combat and death and healing and all kinds of other stuff. That's the humble path is bowing before the gods of combat, essentially. You pass the teacher's residence and everything else. Long way around. You get to the well, and you, as people have described it to you as you've made chit chat along the way, it's basically just a huge body of water. The one environment that they didn't recreate in the nature's playground is underwater training and combat because they've got the well. It's a naturally occurring deep trench, essentially. Like it's just it goes down hundreds of feet. The bottom of it is like a sponge, essentially. It's just riddled with all these tunnels and things, and it's been kind of sort of explored a little bit by people, but it like like cave diving with scuba gear, that kind of stuff. It's very prone to people getting trapped and stuck in bottlenecks. You get in and then you can't get back out, things like that. They've lost a lot of people who have been too adventurous or overly ambitious with their exploration of the depths of the well. It's mostly used for combat training in underwater environments, swim meets, races, things of that sort. It's an all-purpose water facility essentially.
Okay. Um, no, like legends or anything like that sort of pop up.
Um, Not from the idle chit chat that you've been making with people. No,
Okay.
it's just a big hole of water as far as any of them are concerned.
So they use this for combat training. Does
Mhm.
that mean that they would also have things like potions of water breathing or anything like that? That
Yes, you could get your hands on um that sort of uh, equipment. Essentially, you can get your hands on some water breathing potions and things like that if you wanted to do some training.
okay. And is there any Shelly's just gonna hop in and swim around a little because why not?
Hmm.
Um, but also with the detect magic on and not going too deep, like 20 minutes at most, um, to see if anything pops up before coming back up, just to see if there's anything that catches their eye while they're down there.
Okay. So you is there any particular part of it? It's a pretty big body of water.
Um, probably like I want to say close to the center, but if I do that, then if there's anything to the side. So probably not the two edges, like the little indentations, probably in the actual like well part, but maybe along the what is that, the western edge?
Over this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and go down 20 minutes or so with
Okay.
detect magic.
So you dive in, and as you start swimming down, you see that for the first um, like 100 feet or so, there seem to be light sources to illuminate underwater, so make it easier for them to train and stuff like that. It doesn't illuminate super far out, but it gives a nice bit of light, so that way they'd be able to kind of see what they're doing as they're training and practicing and working on stuff. Once you get further towards the center, that light dies off and it just becomes pitch blackness, so that way they can practice for that too. Same with depth. Once you get past maybe about 100 feet, the light just dies off and it becomes, the darkness of the depths. With detect magic on, you don't pick up anything magical aside from the magical light sources that you passed on the way down. It as far as you can tell, it's just a body of water.
Okay. I think they would rather chat with the others to see what kind of ideas they might have. There was something else, but I forgot what it was, so I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Lucy figured out what she wants to do yet?
Yeah, since it's been a while, she probably try and find either a place where to pray, or if not, an altar to the thunder, and pray for guidance, because she hasn't prayed in a little while to her god. It's been so hectic.
What are you gonna do for the other 4 days and 6 hours?
Well, one step at a time. Fuck. I figured one part of it. The other part, she'd probably check on Shelly from time to time. They've come up with. Almost offer help, but then realize, nah, can't take my cloak off. Otherwise, just roam around trying to see if she can't nab any information about anything suspicious happening around town. Weird people asking weird questions beside hers. She's not pretty great at these kind of interaction, but she's gonna try her best.
Okay. So when you inquire about places to pray, you'll get directed to the humble path where the various temples are. There isn't one dedicated to Lathander specifically, but there's plenty of quiet nooks and corners that you could contemplate and pray if you want to. And then you're going to be asking questions around town. What kinds of questions? Do you know what kind of information you're looking for?
Yeah, about, fuck, I said it, but, how did I word it? Wanted her to go around town inquiring about, odd behaviors, as well as, visitors out of the ordinary, perhaps?
You.
I've never done this, leave me alone.
You're fine. Just go ahead and make a general charisma check for me.
Oh boy.
You got this. You got this,
got
paladin. You got this, paladin.
I got an 18.
Yeah.
that's pretty
good
solid.
girl.
So you're poking around town, asking questions, making chit chat with people, and like, oh, has anybody strange rolled into town? And they kind of give you as subtle of a once over as they can. You do pick up from a few different people. They all mention that there's like a newcomer to the school that's kind of rising up the ranks a lot faster than most people do. Like they've already cleared the rung and they've moved into the Champions Coliseum and they're doing well in those fights too, and they're getting promoted pretty rapidly for a new student. But aside from that, it seems to, and the earthquake is obviously a big deal. It's a lot of people are mumbling and grumbling about, like, what does it mean? Was there going to be another one? But aside from those two things, that's most of what the rumor mill is, or general idle gossip is about.
Well, to those worrying about there being another one, Lucy would try to reassure them, like, it would have happened by now if there would have been another one. Like, try to be reassuring.
Yep.
And then
It'll be fine.
And then an earthquake hits right after she says that.
Shut up! Don't
Everyone-
jinx me!
And
Sounds
everyone dies.
As the words leave your lips, another earthquake. No.
No! Don't doom her like this. Please try your best! Okay. Okay, so she's gonna take that information about that newcomer student. Um, but that's during the first day. She. You said he's in the Champions Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably inquire or go see whenever. Well, who it is first. Inquire who it is, and go
Yeah.
check out whenever his next fights are.
Okay. So that's not too tough to find out. It's attendance is quite high for their fights because there's a lot of buzz about them at the moment. But since you're a keeper, they'll scrounge up a ticket for you if you don't mind paying the 2 gold that it would cost to get into the Champions Arena.
Lucy will not pull a czar. She will pay the 2 gold for the ticket.
Look, Czar isn't just cheap. It's just we have no income. So
I
if we
didn't-
spend gold on things, we don't make that back it currently.
Technically, Lucy just has to take a fort up to Fentillusia and then get taken care of. But yeah. But it's information, and like if she sights, if she sees uh what everyone's talking about, it's gonna help. And like yeah. So does she learn the name of the person?
So yes, you learn of a I'm trying to. You learn of a elf named. Sorry, I'm trying to remember how I pronounce this randomly generated name. Calalan.
Kalalan?
Yeah, that's what happens when you use a random name generator. You're like, wait, how do I pronounce that again? That's why I usually try to make them up myself.
An elf called Kalalan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the last time you made a name up of yourself, it changed twice, and now you can't remember its name.
And now I can't remember which one's right.
Mhm.
So you go into the arena and find your seat amongst the crowd, and it's pretty packed. Like for a Champions Coliseum fight, it's usually well attended, but this is like wall to wall people, and they are all going ballistic to see this fight. Like they're just screaming and yelling and just fired up, ready to go.
Damn.
And the two fighters enter the ring, and you see who you assume to be Cowland is an elf, but built like a brick shithouse, like just absolutely broad-shouldered, wide, massive, rippling muscles. Like they look like
An
a
elf on
Goliath
steroids?
essentially.
I'm imagining like a
An elf on
barbarian
steroids.
elf. That's what I'm imagining is a barbarian elf, and that's what
That's
makes it
what I
so much
pictured, too.
hilarious.
Yeah, like they are absolutely huge.
Oh
At,
my god.
you when you heard elf, you're like, oh, okay, so they're probably like a decent fighter or whatever. But then they come out and they're just like muscles on muscles. They do
Arnold Elfenega.
the Popeye make a muscle and the bicep has its own bicep kind of a thing, like just
Whoa.
raw pure strength and muscle.
Whoa.
He's doping.
Yeah, and the two fighters square off, and they're clearly not fighting on the same level. The opponent is trying to do a lot more of like stick and move and dance around and using speed and dexterity, and then in a blow that feels reminiscent of what you saw Silverheart do to those commoners, Cowland lands a swift blow from a like a giant-sized double-bladed axe and just cleaves the dude in two.
Oh.
What the fuck?
My god.
And like the crowd just like they're screaming and yelling and cheering, and they're absolutely thrilled to see a newbie wrecking house like they are. They're quickly rising in popularity, and everyone's like, "Woo!"
Murdered him. Jesus.
Yeah, that was murder. Alright. Jesus. Okay.
So
No, it's Lathander to you.
the fight ends. Ding ding. You know, if there was
Ding,
like a
ding, ding.
ringside bell, there'd be a ding 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 ringside bell, and Callan's up. You know, yeah. Look at me, I'm awesome. The clerics run out and collect the two halves of the other combatant and kind of push them back together and start casting healing magic and things to try to pull them back. They're going to be preoccupied for a while, and the rest of the crowd is shuffling out to go and get snacks and things and get ready for the next bit of combat. So the fight in total lasted maybe about like 3 to 5 minutes total.
Sheesh, that's fast.
Mm.
That's some strong barbarian elf.
You don't know he's a barbarian. He's just really hulking.
That's mildly concerning to Lucy.
Did he turn green?
No, it did not
Oh.
turn green.
Just curious, you know.
Just checking.
Elf magic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Elf magic can turn green people green.
Yeah, that hazardous elfish radiation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you're working your way through the Colosseum, Lucy, you're hearing a lot of positive chatter about Calalan. It's a lot of just like, oh, they'll be in the grand arena in no time. They'll might even ask them to be a teacher. Who knows? Like, this is crazy. They've never seen anybody, do so much so fast. They're like, oh man, it's all buzz. It's all hype. Everyone's fired up. Like, never. It's weird to see somebody catch like that fast as a combatant.
Yeah. That's definitely makes some alarms go off in her head, and well, I guess nobody figured out where we'd all meet, so she's gonna just go back to the forge and check out on the people's progress, I guess. After checking on Shelly.
Okay, so you find Shelly around. Well, trying to keep track of this a day at a time here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would find Shelly working their way around town, trying to get information about the well and what they're able to find out. And aside from that, you check in at the forges. The Tsar's making good progress on what he's up to. Kinley is as well. There's just more progress to go because of how much she's trying to get done. And then Finnegan, you were off in the playground. You said you wanted to go into the Arctic zone.
Mm-hmm.
So you enter into the building, and it seems like just a big empty room. And you see a rack on the wall of amulets, pendants, and it basically says, put me on to train, essentially. If it gets to be too much, just remove the pendant. So you put on a pendant, and all of a sudden, the room is like an Arctic blizzard.
Ooh.
It's super below zero temperatures, and it's like snow swirling all about, storm. It's just crazy intense, and that chill strikes you immediately as soon as you put it on. So go ahead and make a Constitution save for the cold. Since I don't think Arctic Druid gives you any kind of...
No, absolutely not. Constitution saving throw. No. Give me a
Okay.
little frostbite.
So
Ouch.
the room ramps up over time, right? It's a training room. It's not gonna blast you immediately with something crazy, but so you do feel that intense chill, and you're like, okay, if I'm not careful, I'm gonna start doing damage to myself. And how much time do you want to spend in this environment, or like what kind of training are you looking to do, or are you just poking around?
I'm wanting to see if I can harness the aspects of this below freezing temperature and see if I would be able to possibly, not necessarily recreate it, but empower my spells if possible, or even just understanding it further. To see if I can find weaknesses in overcoming, even.
Okay. That would probably take you a few hours, and so I'm gonna need.
If it takes me days to do it, I will. If I have to take breaks from frost damage.
Well, it's we're gonna see how just to like start, because you have to get to the point where it's severe enough to start learning from it, right?
Oh,
So
okay. Let's fail a couple more of these. Let's go.
yeah, so give me 2 more Constitution saves and then a Nature check. Okay. Okay, so you're doing well.
Nature.
Yeah. Okay. So as you've been in here for quite a few hours at this point, the temperatures continued to get colder and colder. The storm's gotten more and more intense, but you're bracing yourself as it continues to ramp up. You're taking it pretty well, all things considered. As the room's gotten progressively worse, your constitution saves got progressively better. So you've managed to stave off the intensity of this cold. From your nature check, you're pretty sure that you can find a way to like grab a hold of this cold, and but you don't have it just yet. But you're confident that if you give this a couple of tries successfully, you may be able to give yourself a boost like that. You may be able to extract some kind of extra out of this magic and sort of incorporate it into your own.
Okay. Well, I basically fashion the amulet to my hand, and whenever I cast Ice Knife, it goes through the amulet. No, I'm just kidding. Augment my powers.
No,
Okay.
we don't.
You gonna keep going, or are you gonna call it at
No.
3 levels?
Until I'm dead on my ground, dead on the ground, dying of frostbite. I'm gonna motherfucking get this shit.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I'd probably say if I start taking too much damage, I'd probably call it for the day though.
Okay. So push it one more time. Constitution save.
Nope. Nope. Definitely not. Nope.
Didn't make that one.
Ow.
Nope. Like 4d6 or something right there. It's like a sleet storm spell or something.
So you're gonna take 4 damage off of that one.
Okay.
You feel the cold's actually getting to you at this point. You're starting to, your fingertips are going a little numb, and you're like, oh, okay, this is starting to get a little more serious.
This is what I was looking for. I need to embrace the pain I'm taking in, and harness it. I'm going again on this Constitution.
Now, is he doing better or just feeling less as this goes on?
He can't really feel what's going on in general due to how cold it is.
Okay, so that's a decent save, but it still fails. So you are going to take 7 damage off of this one. You've really started, like, you're doing the best you can to kind of, but your hands are going numb, your feet are going numb, you're clearly losing blood flow. You haven't started losing, like, you haven't had the whole tips turn black part yet, but it's gonna start getting bad here if you push it any further.
Yeah, Finnegan realizes that the last few times he's noticed that his concentration's slipping, so he realizes too much of a good thing causes you to stumble and fall. So he's gonna take a break for the day, and he's gonna just meditate and try to find out what he did wrong in his understanding of the element, and he's gonna just ponder that before he basically goes to bed for the night. Just seclude himself.
Okay. So you take the pendant off, and the room's back to being empty again. You hang it back on the hook and excuse yourself. Let's see, what else is going on there? So okay, I see what you're up to, Czar. So that'll keep Czar busy for the rest of the couple of days that Kinley's working. Kinley's making good progress with the help of Tara and Niwin on the gun projects that she's working on. Let's see. What else are you up to, Shelly?
Thing one, while they're wandering around, especially after not finding much at the well yet, it's gonna start keeping a closer eye out for people wearing like any kind of iconography, particularly looking for anybody who might be wearing that demon shape on them, like just in case somebody's
Guess he's
gonna
just
be
wearing it out
it,
and about, just
yeah,
besides Finnegan.
just in case,
Mm.
either the cult or the broken chain thingy. Um, just throwing that out there.
Mm.
At some point, they would also write a note in their journal. Um, just find a tree to sit under and contemplate things for a little bit, and probably try to talk at Ambriel, even though they're pretty sure she can't hear. But just kind of like try to talk through some things with her. Um, and at some point, probably day 2 or 3, would see if like Lucy or Finnegan or anybody who's not actively working on something else wants to maybe go check out the obstacle course or something, just because they're bored.
Lucy
And
would be bored by this point and check it out with you.
would probably talk to the rest of the group at the forge about what they want to do about the well, see about if anybody wants to do an extended trip down together to see
Into
if
the water.
they might be able to find some bubbles like there were under the tree.
So once they're all together, Lucy would notify the group about her find about that new recruit that is doing supernaturally well.
Do you find him cute,
Too
Lucy?
well. She looks and like, romance is not my kind of thing. Go talk to Zara
too.
about it.
Oh, impressed. Were you impressed?
Ting ting.
I
What are you
was
talking
disturbed.
about?
It was an elf that looked super buff, and he cleaved somebody in half.
She said she found someone very attractive.
I did not.
Look, ting ting. Did you go up and kiss him, Lucy?
Why would I?
I don't know. If you think he's that pretty, you should let him know. Ting, ting.
Kinley is
He
so
is not
engrossed in what she's
pretty.
building, she doesn't hear a word of this conversation.
He is not pretty, by my standards at least.
Oh, you're into more of a caster kind of guy.
What
Got
are
Well,
your standards, Lucy? Ting, ting.
we'll talk about this another time. My point still stands. It's strange that a recruit just does this well like that, and you wouldn't expect an elf to look like that.
Lucy, while we're here, why don't you give me that armor, and I can make some modifications to it so it better fits you.
But don't I have to give it back in
yeah,
good
Dustin.
Well,
I
well,
was
then
like,
he can get it. Then he can modify it back. It's no big deal. But you don't want that armor catching you in a bad place, or you go swinging your sword and you know half of it fly off of your arm.
I
It's
just,
not
Lucy's
good
really
to wear
torn.
armor. It's not good to wear armor that's too big for you.
I can just imagine Silverheart's reaction when he sees his armor modified.
No. Lucy's like, look, you want to modify an armor? Just make me a new so I can just hide this one in my bags or something. I'm not letting you modify this one.
Well, if you can get enough iron for me to make you some armor from uh, Miss Smokewettle over there, go for it.
No, I'm good on the modification. Plus, I already kind of talked to you about perhaps giving me a longsword.
Oh, I already made that here.
Wait, can Kinley's new name be Million Ton Man?
If I
No.
carried 1,000,000 tons, it might make sense.
Or if she was a man.
Yeah.
It's not the point.
After this uncomfortable conversation.
So, does anybody have any ideas about this well thing?
Oh, it's full of water
Yeah.
and it goes
Oh,
down pretty
I
deep.
mean, that's usually what wells do.
I mean,
Did you not
some are
find out
empty.
anything?
Nobody here knows anything about like the legends behind it. It's just where they go and they train for underwater stuff, which means that they probably got stuff to be able to go underwater and like breathe and stuff. Because I can only hold my breath for an hour, and I really don't like drowning. It's not very fun, so I didn't really go exploring too deep. But I just thought that maybe we could go like even just like having a buddy would be nice just because you shouldn't swim real deep without a buddy because what if you get stuck and stuff and then you're sitting down there and you're going, oh, I can't breathe, blah, 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 blah. And then angels are pulling you out and putting you on deserted islands and being like, you have a destiny, and it's just a big mess. So
Czar's just kind of standing there, like in half swing with his hammer, just slack jawed, looking at Shelly at the moment. What?
yeah.
I mean, did you try the playground? They have these cool amulets that might maybe help you with water.
Um.
I mean, I'm
Well,
guessing that they have stuff specifically for that. We just
Yeah.
have to figure out who and how to get it. But also, I just kind of want a buddy. So,
I mean,
Oh.
does anyone
You're-
else not find it odd
buddy.
that nobody seems to know the legend of a lake that's in the middle of where they live?
Well, I mean, it's not that uncommon, right? Because like they just use it for what they use it for, and they don't necessarily care that it has some greater meaning or whatever. But I mean,
Cool story. It could literally have no special meaning at the very bottom. Who really knows? It could just be a source of water.
I got a feeling.
I mean, did you touch the well?
Uh,
Did
are
you
Yeah,
you
get
I went
feel
look,
it?
in it. I went and I dove down a little bit, down past where the lights stop.
How far did you
But
get?
I only went down like 20 minutes or so.
Mm.
I didn't get to the bottom. It's
Like
real deep.
like Like
That's a lot longer
like,
than I can hold my breath. Ding,
Like-
ding.
Me too.
like fast sync 20 minutes or like slow sync 20 minutes.
Like I was swimming down
Okay.
using, my cool new eye thing,
Oh.
which is super
Yeah.
awesome. Which, by the way, I'm going to use it in here just to see if there's any
Okay.
magic stuff.
Okay.
Uh,
So my eyes like, bing.
You do pick up a couple of um, different like swords and axes and things like that up on the rack that are enchanted.
And then you'll see my
Those are
sticks
cool.
glowing again.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's old news.
yeah, and like the bag of holding has a little bit of a glow to it, and the other items that the party has. But just scanning around the room, you do pick up a few. Like most of the items are mundane stuff for your average fighter, but there's a couple of specialty orders that are more buffed up.
Would my modified hammer give off any type of an aura?
Yes, with the rune on it, that would be glowing as well.
Cool hammer.
Made it myself.
That's cool.
Cool story.
Yeah.
Back to that water thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Like,
not
do you
really
guys have
fond
any
of
ideas or?
Looking around at the party, none of us besides you is anywhere equipped with any kind of water combat whatsoever.
You saw me on the boat. What is not exactly my forte?
Well,
I mean-
actually, we never saw you on the boat, so point.
Exactly.
I mean, I can shapeshift into a water creature, but I have absolutely no experience with water combat.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be combat. I just don't want to be down there by myself in case something happens.
She wants
Well,
a buddy
looking at the last
underwater.
place we visited, that was an issue. I saw a lot of dead bodies I walked in on, so I'm assuming there's combat involved.
I mean, maybe.
Not if
Have you
there's
guys
not
seen
a
any?
pillar.
And like looks around and is like, have you seen any cultists around?
The
I'm-
weird AI might be one.
Are you-
wouldn't there
are
be
you
another
one?
earthquake or flooding since this one's made of water or something? Maybe, a plague of insects. Who knows? But if nothing odd is happening, I would say there's no combat to be had there yet.
The only
Then
odd
again.
thing is that guy that keeps climbing up the ladders too fast, even for a recruit.
All right, Shelly, I'll go. I'll spend an hour or two down there with you. I'll scope it out if it will help you any.
Gonna
Cool.
turn into a goldfish.
I
I
mean,
mean, we can
slightly
go-
larger goldfish, but yeah, you can
We can
name
go
it
see
Nemo.
if they've got potions or like rings or something that we can use.
Sure. I was just gonna reef shark it, but okay.
I mean, sure,
Shelley,
but what if your time runs out or whatever? Like, how does that work?
I just cast again.
Okay.
Shelly, if you're gonna be checking on the magical items, could you check and see if anyone has a scroll ascending?
I'll keep an eye out for you.
Thank you, Shelly.
We should just get a spellcaster. That
It's
knows
just a
the
running
spell.
joke at this
Hi,
point.
I'm a wizard.
Do you know the spell? So we can stop
No.
asking for a scroll.
She
No,
wouldn't be able to do it anyway. She has to know the target.
Oh.
But couldn't she make a scroll with enough work?
I don't have that spell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shelly doesn't have
Yeah.
that spell though.
She'd have
Otherwise,
to learn
they,
it first.
they could sit down and write up a scroll for you.
In time,
I
she
mean,
will.
technically, you shouldn't be able to cast from a scroll unless you can cast the spell yourself, but
Yeah, but that always seemed like a weird restriction. Like why would you put it on a scroll if not to allow other people to like? Doesn't it?
It's
I don't know.
to
That's
conserve-
just me. It seemed like the whole point of a spell scroll is that you're letting someone who wouldn't normally be able to cast it.
I
Sure.
think the purpose was to like, if you're not going to use it
free up spell
today,
slots.
you can use
Yeah.
it later without using spell slots. Yeah.
Mm.
I understand why. It's just a stupid idea. I agree.
DM's choice. It's fine.
Yeah, that's just me. That's my.
I've never actually played in a game where that was an enforced rule that you had to know the spell to be able to cast it from a scroll ever.
Mhm.
Well, not no. It just
It
you
had
have
to be like
that
in your
class.
list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, once everybody's decided that they don't really want to help, Shelly will grab Finnegan and go look for whoever runs the underwater combat to see if they can borrow a ring or something.
Lucy can't hold her breath underwater for shit. Just FYI.
That's why we get rings or potions.
But she'd have to take off her cloak. She don't want it.
And her armor.
Mm-hmm.
What
Well-
are you talking about? That helps sink faster.
Yeah.
But then how does she swim back up?
Come back up then. Be
Oh,
the
we
hard part.
weren't worried about the up part. We're worried about the down part.
I'm worried about the up part.
So if you eventually work your way around the well here to this part, you find like not like a shack, but like a booth sort of a
Mhm.
deal, where they offer rental of a where'd it go? Caps of water breathing.
Ooh.
So it would give you a little bubble of air. They use them during combat as the kind of thing where you pop the other person's bubble and that takes them out of the fight.
Fucking
And
That
way
sounds so much fun.
It's water.
no.
it's their non lethal training combat kind of deal. That's you pop the person's bubble and then they got to swim up to the surface for air. So it allows you to breathe normally underwater and it stays on until popped or you turn it off.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah,
Are you
but-
worried about it being popped?
Yeah.
Worst
Wait.
case scenario, you hold your breath for 20 minutes and get up to the surface. You can go down pretty far.
But yeah, but if it gets popped and they turn it off, can they just turn it back on again and get a new bubble?
If they have another pill pop, if you purchase
I mean, it's
another
a
one.
hat, so.
It's a hat.
Oh, a
It's,
hat?
it's turned on and off by a command word, so you'd have to be able to speak to turn it back on.
Okay. So how much are they to rent?
It's just 5 silver, and you get it back when you return the cap. It's basically just
Oh.
like a security deposit.
All right.
They don't worry too much about letting people. They like to encourage people to train.
I will do that. Do you want one too? I'll spot you.
No, I've got everything I need.
Okay. Cool. Hey,
Uh,
have you ever been down there?
Nope.
Like asking
And I
the
just
person with the-
start jumping, running down the dock, and then I just jump into the water and
Never-
shift into a reef
Never
shark.
mind. He's excited. I'm gonna go with him. All right. Thanks. Thanks for the hat, and I'll put it on. Follow. Say the command word. Start diving.
Okay. We're about 2 hours in, give or take.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and take our 10-minute break right here, and
Alright.
then we'll pick back up with everyone's various SOGA adventures.
All right, when we come back from the break, we'll roll the raffle before we jump back into the camp.
Yes.
Oh, well, we will see you shortly. Enjoy your break. Refill your snacks. Go to the bathroom. Do whatever you got
Snack.
to do. We'll see you shortly.
Snack.
It's per stream, but
All right, we are back.
No.
all right.
No.
I am going to roll the giveaway.
Giveaway hype time.
So let's pick the winner.
Big star. Oh.
And Jenna wins.
Woo!
Nice.
And yes, I did say it that way as a pun.
Hey, when you've got me in the party, it's always a win-win situation, right?
Well, that and your Twitch name is Jenna Win. So Jenna wins.
That's
So what?
That's
So what?
what I
So what was the
meant,
prize again?
but-
Well, it was a dice tower. However, I did tell the group here that should they want dice instead of a dice tower, I would do that as well.
Okay. Well,
So,
what are the channel stats right now?
we've been averaging between 10 and 12. Is that what you're wondering? Or are you
No,
wondering
no.
how many subs and stuff we got?
I'm gonna hop on there and take a look.
Okay. Because we're
Next.
sitting at 36 subs right now.
Next giveaway is 15,000 views.
No, but I'm pondering because I have something that I don't use very often, and
Toilet paper?
no,
Do it.
a really nice dice tower, $100 wormwood dice
Oh.
tower.
Oh wow.
Oh.
And I was thinking if we get to 100,
45?
no,
Oh,
no,
100.
this has got to be a big thing. If we get to 100 subs, I would give it away.
All right. That's
what are
new
dice
goal,
towers?
ladies
Next
and
year,
gentlemen.
baby. Next year.
100 subs, Wormwood Dice Tower giveaway.
I will link it to you.
But congratulations again. And
Genuine wins. Genuine wins.
yep,
Yeah.
Jenna wins.
Woo.
Woo.
Yeah. Basically, Julia, you put the dice on the top, they go clickety clackety down these different like little ramps inside the tower, and then roll out in the bottom into a tree.
It's like Plinko.
That
Yeah.
sounds cool. I don't have
Definitely.
any dice though.
Well,
Yeah, it's a dice tower with the dice tray from Wormwood. So
most
I wouldn't expect you to, Vixstar. I wouldn't expect you to, buddy. You do enough as it is. No. So
Back
giveaway
up then.
done. Back to you, Kim.
Okay, so we're gonna pick up where we left off, just because it got glazed over in the hustle and bustle of everything that was going on. Lucy, when you did go and pray, you didn't get like a direct response. He didn't like pop in and have a chat with you, but you did. Despite being indoors, you felt like the warmth of a sunny day wash over you, as though like, hey, I heard you. I just, a little preoccupied at the whole craziness of the universe at the moment. And Shelly, you talked at Ambriel while you were meditating under the tree, and again, you didn't get like a direct line of communication, but you did pick up the smell of like a sea breeze, like a bit of salt water on the air. So you're meant to be like, oh, maybe she heard me. Kind of feel like I might be. But
That
so-
or all the drugs I've been doing. Who knows?
yeah.
I did find some pretty awesome seaweed.
Oh.
Oh.
Roll that up and smoke it later.
well, that whole conversation you had in the smithing, I didn't hear a word of it. She was so engrossed in fixing sketches and banging out parts and.
Seems self-absorbed. Kind of a rude person you are.
When it comes to studies and crafts, it's her thing.
We're
Okay.
over here trying to solve issues with the whole, demon apocalypse, and you're over here.
I'll fill
My
her.
guns and my iron.
I'll fill her in when she starts to collapse from exhaustion.
So Shelly and Finnegan in reef shark form I believe you said,
Yep.
are
vision,
gonna
30 feet.
dive down into the well again. You've got the perimeter is all lined with those magical light sources down to about the first 100 feet or so, and then the light dies off.
Before
You
we
start-
jump, I want to cast light on a coin so that
Okay,
we can
you've
see.
got a light source down there. So you dive down with your coin light source past the magical lights that are around the perimeter, heading down deeper and deeper. How deep do you want to push on this? Like the well itself is probably a good like 500-600 feet deep.
Oh, I have an hour down and an hour up. So I mean, I have 2 hours for this reef shark. So I mean,
So
I'm
Allow it.
going. I'm going down there.
as far down as we can.
Okay, let me take a look here and see what we're working with.
Oh, you mind my reef shark?
Yeah.
Uh,
So swim speed is 40 feet. So
blind sight,
uh,
30.
what is that? That's my math is failing me at the moment.
40 feet per 10 seconds. So. Oh wait, no. If I double
60.
move action,
mhm.
80.
80 if you're swimming full speed. So
I get down there really quick.
you can definitely make it all the way to the bottom
3 minutes.
without too much trouble.
Meanwhile, I don't have a swim speed, so I'm 15 feet per
Per round.
Just
30,
grip onto the
30 if
fin.
I dash.
Yeah, per 6 seconds. So you get down there a little bit later than Finnegan in dark form, unless he takes his time
Ooh,
circling
ooh.
around and.
What you can do is you can grab onto my fin, and I could
Yeah.
drag you down there.
Sure.
I am
Yeah.
surprised turtles don't have swim speeds.
Yeah,
Right?
it seems a little weird to me too.
Doesn't
but
make any sense.
Well, I mean,
They
that's what
should
we've got
also have 25 feet.
I'm just
land
saying,
speed.
Zelda has metal boots, or Link technically Link in the character in Zelda has metal boots for water. So I mean, you put those things on,
Lucy, I need to borrow your boots.
or her like just like plate mail.
So you
I
eventually
mean, I weigh 450 pounds or something stupid, so.
still get down there at a decent clip of sinking.
Just-
So eventually you reach,
Cannonball.
you start to close in on the bottom, and with the light source that you've got, you're starting to see what people were talking about in terms of it being like a sponge. It's just littered with all of these openings and that look like they're tunnels of some kind that would lead off into like some of them look like they keep going down more, other ones make like sharp turns in random directions. It's a whole web network of caves and tunnels and things.
So, is there anywhere, like, how much time did it take to get down here?
Um
Like,
2
maybe
minutes.
half an
maybe
hour?
a couple minutes probably
Oh,
with
okay.
how if you did the fin toe
Again,
action, yeah,
Okay.
it would have only taken like a couple of minutes to get towed down there.
So, because Shelly is very worried about drowning and getting stuck down here, uh, is there any place up here that looks like a place where I could, like, tie off a rope? Because I have 3 lengths of rope in my bag of holding. And I would like to tie it off and then let it go behind us so that I know where to go to get back out.
Okay. Make a investigation check. Okay, so you search around a little bit. You think you found a decent sized, kind of stalagmite looking rock that you could tie off on.
Cool.
Depending on which tunnels and things you decide you want to mess with, you may be further out than others, but you've at least got some kind of an anchor point to work from.
And anything with detect magic from here?
No, not at the moment. You're too far away from the light sources up above, and you're not picking up any glows out of any of the holes.
All right, so I'll look to Finnegan and be like,
I will activate my telepathic link to her.
any preference?
I mean, seeing that you're now attached to a rope, would you like to get the holes near here, and I can search the holes further away?
I mean, I don't want us to get too separated in case something happens. But
Do you want me to check down a little bit faster than you, just come back up, let you know what I see?
if you wanna, sure.
Okay, I bolt straight down into the first hole I see.
Okay.
You can roll a D100 to find out which hole I landed.
As Finnegan is devoured by a purple worm.
If I don't die,
no, buddy.
if I don't die, I use a charge to turn into a giant worm inside of that giant worm.
Unfortunately, they're aberrations, so
Fine.
So you
I turn into a Bailoff. Fuck you.
you kind of do a quick glance around, pick a hole at random, dive on down. You sort of worm your way through a little bit. It's just kind of make some twists and turns and bends and things. You go through a couple of larger, fully full of water, but larger, almost what would be arguably rooms or little caves. They're just a little bit wider than the rest of the tunnel, and then eventually you pop back out of a different hole. Maybe
Like whack-a-mole style.
yeah, you're maybe 200 feet away from Shelly, having just gone wormed through and around, and you're back up again.
Finn way better. At this distance, we can't talk. And I'll zip back
We
to her.
probably can't see each other either, to be honest.
I mean, I maybe.
I've got my light. I'll be like a lighthouse. Be like.
I mean, I have also blind sense for 30. Eventually, we'll
Then
find each other.
again.
I'm gonna eventually swim around until I find her, and then let her know. Well, that popped me up in a different spot, like a good ways back that way.
I wonder how we could find something down here.
We try all the holes.
All the holes.
There are a lot of holes.
I got a lot of time.
How long did it take to do that?
Seconds. Possibly 20 seconds. I swim pretty damn fast. No, that far, probably close to a minute.
Yeah, it was probably like a minute or two. If you slowed down taking your time through them to try to make sure you didn't accidentally run into any, bottlenecks or anything unexpected, it might have been maybe, 3 minutes total. But if you just kind of zipped through, it would be about a minute or two.
Okay.
Like that swim speed's real quick. You can get to dash about pretty swift.
Why don't we try a couple more? Meet back here in like 20 minutes.
Cool.
That way
Go
there's
down a
nothing.
different hole.
And I'll also go look through a couple
Okay.
with detect magic on.
You're gonna have to, like, wherever you end up, you're gonna have to come back the same hole to get back to your rope.
That's the point of it, though. I don't want to get caught up in something.
Okay, Finnegan wanted to let you know that I traveled quite a distance from one hole to the other, so.
Worst case, I pop up out of it and then go find the end of the rope and untie it.
Okay, good luck. Probably try another, 8 to 10 holes, I guess.
I get 3.
Maybe. Because you have to work finding a rope again. In 20 minutes, actually, I could see you dealing with rope. You might be able to get 2. Dealing with your rope situation.
That's fine.
Okay, so none of the rolls were especially terrible, so nobody got it trapped in any sort of bottlenecks or, tunnels where you squeeze your way in and you can't squeeze your way back out kind of situations or anything like that. It's a lot of more whack-a-mole type stuff. You know, Finnegan's zipping in one hole, out another, into a hole, out another. Like it's a lot of just looping around. You know, you do occasionally find small caves and things like that, larger spaces where a bunch of tunnels connect into the like all dump into these larger pockets. There's no air pockets that you're finding in any of these spaces, but you're at least finding what would arguably be rooms within this big network of tunnels, but they're mostly just dumping other tunnels into them. It's basically like a rat's nest of.
Is there do they any of them go down further, or is it just like they all congeal here and like keep going out to other holes?
There are a couple along the way you see that look like they might lead deeper if you want to explore them, but for the most part, you're kind of coming down to a specific sort of depth, and everything kind of seems to be about there and then spit back up again.
Okay.
But you do find at least one or two of these caves have deeper outlets that you could dive down if you want to.
Okay. I'm going to mark it to where I can get back to this, to one of them, to where I can explore, but I also want to go back up and let Ginny know. Sorry, a moment.
Shelly.
Shelly know what my plan is, to not worry that I'll be gone for up to 7 to 10 days.
That's a long time.
Vacations.
Do you want me to come with you?
I mean, if your rope can go down that far,
I-
you're more than welcome to join.
I mean, if we're both there, I think we can go without the rope. I just.
Okay. You wanna? Hey, all aboard. Let's go.
Sure.
Okay. Make a perception check for me too.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Okay.
Mine is now a shark form, so that's a +2 instead of 6.
Woo!
Uh,
Hey. Did you get your
and
claw
I
stuff?
got I got a 14.
Okay. So, with jumping in and out of different holes and the exploring around this level that you're doing, you've pieced together that some of the holes seem to have a bit of a current to them. Like there's a bit of water flow into the main well from some and out from others, and there's some temperature variance. Some of the holes seem to have warmer water than others, colder water than others. There's variance
Mm-hmm.
spread throughout this network. You aren't really sure if there's any sort of rhyme or reason to it, but you're noticing that it isn't just a uniform body of water. There's current and flow and temperature variance and all those other kinds of like the water. It's not just one singular body of water.
Would the cold water be going into the tunnel, and the warm water be coming out, or vice versa, or just all random?
It seems kind of random at this point.
Okay.
There's a mix in there.
All right, well, I sling her along with me, and we go back down the tunnel to find one of those deeper holes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back into down one of the tunnels, wind and wrap around a little bit, back into one of the caves that's got a whole bunch of other tunnels dumping into it, and then you see one outlet that looks like it's on more of like a downward trajectory, where the other ones seem to be kind of angled more
Sloped up.
up. So you're gonna go for that one?
Yeah, I love going down, down, down. And a burning ring of fire.
I was thinking more like down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster.
Yeah, but we're gonna crash and burn on this mission by ourselves. Don't you worry.
Okay, so this one, you follow it down maybe another like 80 feet or so, and then you notice that it looks like it's starting to slope inwards. It's starting to narrow, and it's
Oh.
tapering in a bit. Do you want to keep pushing
Like-
forward, or
Like an uncomfortable situation type.
Yeah, like it's starting. Feel your fins are starting to kind of rub as you're wiggling through. It's starting to rub and it's starting to get more claustrophobic as you keep going down.
Mm,
Mm.
mm. I don't squeeze well.
No, you definitely do not. V- v- v-
Anything from detect magic?
No, it just seems like a narrowing tunnel.
Cool.
Well, I don't have anything for smaller swimming capabilities that can like hold their
Yeah.
breath long terms. So
Maybe maybe I can like tonight change Meryl into a fish.
Um,
See if she can come down here at all.
yeah, I think you have to. Do you have to recast Find
Yeah.
Familiar to change her form? So you'd have to surface and
Yep.
change her and then send her back down. But you could potentially do that if you want to. You just have to make sure that you note where this was so you can trace it back down.
I will stay at the hole when she goes up there.
Oh, it's gonna be like an hour to cast it.
Oh,
It takes a while.
okay. Well, then I'm gonna use my teeth and claw marks or whatever to definitely make this hole specific,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll haul her up there as fast as possible. Cause good God, take forever to get up there. 500 feet. And then I guess if that's gonna take an hour, I'd probably want to recast. We're down there for close to an hour, probably.
By the time you've done all of the exploring that you've been doing, yeah, you're probably at about, and then resurfacing, you're probably at about 45 minutes.
All right. Well, if I'm waiting an hour for her to do a recast, I'll probably have to re-wild shape.
So I will go ahead and do that at the water's edge so that I can go ahead and put Meryl in the water
Mhm.
because that would be very scary for her to be a fish that is not in the water. And I will have to replace the charcoal that I need for it because that was the last casting that I could do. And
Well, she's gonna be a goldfish forever now.
a quipper until I change it. And so Pistachio has been born.
I like it.
Yep. So I'll let Finnegan know that we're ready to go back whenever he is.
All right. I will recast a wild shape.
Okay.
Everything that has underwater breathing is large, so I can't really cheat the system there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just stick with the reef shark since it's the fastest.
So you descend back down and kind of lead the way for Meryl. Now, I'm sorry, was that Pistachio?
Pistachio.
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 So you lead the way back down to the hole for Pistachio, down into the lower cave to the tunnel that descends even deeper, and you're gonna follow at least until it gets too tight for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and then Pistachio keeps going down beyond there. That's gonna be fun.
Pistachio dies from a vortex of water.
So I can communicate within 100 feet, and I can just give him her orders to go down and explore, and then come back and talk to me.
Okay, so did you follow back down as well, all the way to as far as you could, and then
Yeah.
held underwater? Okay, just making sure. So you're basically in that lower cave, and then Finnegan in shark form is down deeper into the tunnel to about where it gets a little too tight for him to feel comfortable. Pistachio keeps going, and after another maybe 150, 200 feet of swimming down, it does a little spirally thing and spits out into another lower cave section. This one is also fully underwater, and it's got, like, when turned around, what kind of exploration are you asking Pistachio to do? Are they going to keep going until they hit a dead end, or are they going to just go until the next room and then come back? Or
Is it still within the 100 feet?
no, it's gone beyond that at this point.
Okay. I would have told her to go down, see how deep she could get, come back if they see any bubbles or like the magic bubbles, or otherwise just see how deep it goes. Also, don't
avoid
get
danger.
killed.
Yeah. Avoid danger.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
Sure.
Oh shit. 6 harpoons come out of nowhere.
5.
Okay. So, and then roll a d4 for me.
This is not nervousing
This,
whatsoever.
this is this is the exploration of the network below, but since they haven't come back yet, you don't get the details of what they're finding.
Got it.
Okay. And d8 for me.
How deep does this shit go?
How deep is your love? Cat decided I wasn't paying any attention to it.
I'm gonna need to know from Pistachio how tight the hole gets to go down further. That's what the information I'm gonna need.
I mean, considering I think it's about this big, probably not very tight at all.
From their perspective, anyway.
How many bin links for you, Pistachio, is it?
Okay, so with that, Pistachio will reverse course and swim back to you and let you know that they found a room, or like another cave that had a couple of different tunnels. They picked one, went down deeper, found another room that had a couple of tunnels,
God.
went down again, found another room, and it just seemed like this was going to keep going and going, so they wanted to come back and at least let you know what they're finding. The first room that they went into, there was a couple of tunnels that went deeper and a couple of tunnels that went back up. But the tunnel that they swam through, it kept narrowing down. It didn't get tight enough to where they were struggling, but it didn't widen back out until they spit out into the cave.
That's not
So
good.
if you want to get into that first room that they were in, you'd have to find another one of those
Entrance.
upward tunnels to get into it.
So what we need fish Pistachio to do for us. Find out where one of those big tunnels that go upward lead to.
Yeah. Can you go back down there and then find the biggest tunnel that you can that goes up, and then like see it, like sit there at the top, and we'll come find you.
Or if you come into a giant opening of entrances and exits, stay there and I'll see if I can find it.
I'm gonna cast light on her.
Ooh.
Good plan. I like that. That's
Now
not bad.
she's bait.
Oh god, giant secret.
This may not have been a great idea.
So Pistachio will swim back down through the tight tunnel into that first room and kind of scope out the two or three that go back upward-ish trajectory, or what seem to be upward trajectories, and picks one and kind of goes up and about, and they spit out into another room that, like the one that you're in, that's on that topmost level of room of chambers, caves, whatever. There's a couple of ins and outs out of there, and they're gonna go try to find their way back up to a surface location using whatever looks biggest. Like you said, try to find the biggest tunnels that they can. So they'll eventually work their way back up to a surface hole.
Okay.
I drag Shelly back up there to start exploring for a tiny glowing fish.
Okay. Make let's see. Let's do perception checks, or yeah, perception checks at advantage. And this will mostly be for how long it takes you to manage to find.
23.
I don't find it.
So Shelly, you do eventually spot the faint glow of the light spell off in the distance. They're a couple 100 feet away. Like this tunnels, there some of them lead like out and up and are like they're very labyrinthy. So you do eventually spot pistachio off in the distance and close in, and they'll lead you back down to that second tier room through the tunnels that they used.
Okay. Thanks, little buddy. You're great. So what do you want to do here? Do the
Oh,
same thing?
yeah, definitely.
Or do
So
we wanna...
you've got
I'm mentally mapping this out, by the way.
we'll see how well that works. I don't think you have the
Oh, I don't.
I don't think you have keen
no.
mind feet. So we're gonna see how well mapping this out in your head works.
I have zero intellect. Zero, so it's fun.
Yeah. So you're in the second tier
Looking at
room. You
ground.
know that there's essentially 7 ways in and out. There's the one tight one that Pistachio originally came in, the one that you just entered through, 2 more that look like they would be upward trajectories, and then 3 that look like they go deeper. And Pistachio kind of nudges towards the one that they went down the last time they were in this room, to kind of indicate it for you. But then there's 2 others that you can pick from.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let her know I'm gonna go down all 3 of them, and to check to see how many tunnels are in each one of them, to see if it's similar or different or something like that. So I'm gonna quickly go down each of the 3. So one of them that the other fish went down already, I'll find that it had 4. But what are the other ones?
And I will sit there and be anxiety ridden. Man, I hope he's okay.
Hope he doesn't die.
So you descend down. You find the one that Pistachio indicated toward. It's got the one that you came in through plus 4 more. The other 2 rooms, one of them has 8 alternative ways in and out, and the other one has 12 plus the way you came in.
That's a lot of ways out.
That sure is.
Woo! Okay, well, I'm gonna go back up to Shelly and say, we're gonna be here a while.
This is a big old labyrinth.
Yeah. So the one we went down, the pistachio or your fish thing,
The fish thing.
found the least amount of tunnels whole. The other one has 8 and 12.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You think that maybe somebody's like already tried to map this stuff?
Probably not, because we went down extremely far.
Or maybe like maybe there's... Whoa, maybe we could get like a magic spell that could do like a locate
Locate what?
spell. I don't know. Locate glowing black orb? Locate...
You mean you're gonna try to
something.
penetrate the giant lead shell that's supposed to block magic?
Locate lead shell. Man, I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
Ugh. I'm gonna try to perceive flow of water from the holes, since I noticed that there was a difference of flow of water up top,
Mm-hmm.
even temperature-wise.
In like what room or where are you doing this?
The one that has the 3 holes that we could go to, or 4 holes?
4?
4 holes? Yeah. Well, I guess technically 3 and then 1. Because there's only 3, right? Because you said 2 go up and then 1 goes up, so it's only 3 down.
Yeah, let me go back and make sure I'm tracing this properly here. Um,
Y'all
yes.
fucked me up.
Yeah, well, it's just it's a lot of, um, so yeah, so you went down into the room with the 6, you went down into a room with the 4, you went down into the room with the 8, and turned around and came back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that would have been, so you got led to the room with the 6. You went down through the the 3 options.
Yep.
The one that Pistachio went down was the one with the 8,
Yes.
and then the other 2.
No, wait. No, the one that Pistachio went down was the 4. The hole led down to 4 of them.
Right.
And the other one
and
was
then
8 and 12.
no, that's where I got mixed up. The room that you wound up in. Right.
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah. It's a labyrinth. Like it's a legit maze of tunnels, and it's real deliberately complicated. It's
Thanks.
just too complicated. Um, yeah. So you went to the room with the 6. They led you down one more
divine
layer
sense. What path should I use?
that took you to the one with the 4. So you go down those 3 tunnels. One of them has 8. One of them has 12, and one of them has another 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you're at. So this is where Shelly's at. 3
Base
tunnels.
level. Yeah, we're at the base level right there.
Yeah.
Under
Right, so
under the base of the base, we're there.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
So three tunnels. One of them's got 4. One of them's got 8, which is the one that Pistachio originally. The
No.
lowest that Pistachio's gone so far was that one,
Yes,
and then the
yes.
one with the 12. So then you wanted to go in the next room down with 4, and explore those 4.
Yes. And when I do, I want to see if I can determine flows of water as I do.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Can I do a body check?
No, but you can do it at
Dealing with my
advantage
body?
since you're in shark mode. You should be more sensitive to that kind of environment.
Nope. I got a 10 on both.
Nice. So you're not like you're mostly fixated on making sure that you don't get stuck in any of these tunnels that you're swimming through. So, you don't really notice any kind of distinction from the temperature or the flow or currents or any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
You're just kind of distracted.
So I'm just gonna pick a hole, go straight down, pick another. So I am in the one that I guess the one Pistachio led me down, which had 4 holes.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna go down the one Pistachio marked or whatever. That should lead me down to the 8.
Yeah, that'll lead to the 8.
And then I want to go to the one Pistachio went to, see if there's more down there.
Okay. So,
So I'm just following the route Pistachio did first.
So you follow the route Pistachio went. You went into the room that has 8 ways in and out. You want to pick a route at random, or
Yes.
you want to? Okay.
Yes, this is gonna get way too confusing if I start actually picking. You just tell me what die I need to roll.
Go ahead and roll a d8. Okay,
Five.
so you are going to use hole number 5. And that one, after maybe 50, 60 feet, looks like it kind of dead ends.
Cool. I go back up. In that one section that had 8, I choose again of the 7.
Okay. Roll it again.
D7. 2.
Nice. So you go down that one. And, it spits out into another cave.
Ah, fuck! Kim, I hate you right now.
You guys said you wanted to go
He's like, I
exploring.
hate me right now.
and
Like extreme hate.
none of you are successfully uncovering anything of note or especially interesting, or it's just a lot of-
Obviously.
you know,
I use
tunnels.
survival.
Just a bunch of fucking tunnels.
Yep. So you wind up in another cave,
Mhm.
and this cave has.
There happens to be an octopus, a giant octopus that happens to be CR12. Good luck.
No, you haven't rolled that badly yet.
Kraken.
There's an
Almost
apple
rolled that
cliff.
badly, but nobody's rolled that badly yet. So, you come into this cave, and there's another half a dozen ways in and out.
The one I came in, is it obvious the one I came into if I come back upwards? Or is this easily confuse myself on my way back out?
You would probably want to mark it in some way.
I definitely mark it then.
Yeah.
And then I choose one of the random ass tunnels downwards.
Okay. Roll a d12.
6.
Okay, that one's gonna dead end.
Come back up and I choose again. 11.
I swear at some point you'll roll high enough, and then I'm gonna have to lead you to where you need to be. But
Hey, I'll be down here for another probably hour and a half. Don't you worry.
yeah, at the rate you're going. So you do come into a room, and this one seems a little bit different. While all the other caves have been just sort of rough rock, stalagmites, stalactites hanging out, this one seems a little bit smoother. Not necessarily like worked stone or anything like that. It's still rough cave, but it looks a little more cleaned up to some extent.
I'm gonna try to perceive if a more flow of water is going down this tunnel than what I've been experiencing, assuming that erosion happens from flow of water.
Okay. Perception check.
Meanwhile, Shelly is playing fetch with Pistachio. and saying, "Go
21.
fish."
Okay, so you pick up that this is not erosion from flow of water. This looks like it was something that was done with
Okay.
some deliverance.
I'm gonna go quickly right back up beforehand and mark the number 11 around it.
Mm,
Point of interest. And then go back straight down.
okay.
Red
Slowly working your way where you need to be. Um,
Okay.
well, it's
I'm waiting for my divine sense to kick in.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Kim, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. You probably grabbed all of your, literally all of your dice except for, the D100, and you went, start just picking them as routes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, because I mean the top layer covers the entire bottom of this well. It's a large body of water, and there's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
ways in from the very top. So the fact that you've even gotten, 5 levels deep is pretty lucky on some of these rolls. There's a lot of dead ends and a lot of loop backs and a lot of so
Shoots the ladders. Waiting for that to push me all the way back to the beginning.
yeah. So yeah. So what? Sorry. So you do see that there's 8 more ways in and out of this. Looks like 6 of them would lead in sort of either the same level or down, and the one you came in and one other would go back up.
I marked the one I came in.
Okay.
And then you said 6 other ways down?
Yeah.
Or parallel?
Mm-hmm.
Love how you're telling me that one, because, hey, it's a waste. We're gonna go with number 2, my lord. Pick 2.
Okay. So that one is going to lead into another cave, but this one is back to being more rough stalagmite, stalactite kind of.
Okay. Curiosity did kill me sometime. I'm gonna go back up, and I'm gonna see if I can find. Gonna go through all of them, hoping to see if I can find design made of smooth, weird, oddly smooth rock. So I'll roll them, but I'm gonna go through all of them if need be. You said D8. All right. I'm gonna try with the first one.
Okay. So you go down that one and you find another smooth chamber.
Fantastic. I mark that one. Go back up and mark that one, and come back down.
Okay. And this one has what looks like 4 ways that would go back up in various angles, and another 4 that would go either parallel or down.
We're going down, looking for special smooth stone. We're going with number 2, my lord.
Okay, so you go down this tunnel. It's a little tight, but you manage to squeeze through, and you're back into another stalagmite, stalactite, rough
Try to
shot
get the
room.
fuck. I've tried to get the fuck back out of there. I don't like tight space, and I don't like stalagmites or stalactites. Mm-mm.
Okay. How long are you gonna keep this up for? Like
Until
how
I find an inn.
and how long is your wild shape gonna last for?
I have 2 hours. I assume. I don't know how long it takes me to do all the zapping around and marking territories, but I'd probably say with my last 30 minutes, I'd probably want to get out.
Okay, because you are getting deep at this point with the amount of layers that you've have successfully gone down, and the amount of like up and back and up and back and up and back. You're
Yeah, I totally
burning
understand.
burning time pretty substantially at this point.
You
So
just let me know when I feel like a sense of, oh shit, gotta leave.
okay. So while all of this is going on, just since we're leaving everyone else stranded, Shelly, he's been gone a while at this point. Is there anything you'd like to do in response to the fact that he's just sort of moseyed off into the tunnels for a good 45 minutes?
I mean, I'm guessing he would probably let me know if he found something or something.
Or something.
I'm mostly just playing this game I just invented called Go Fish, where I throw things and Fishtachio goes and gets them for me and then brings them back. At some point, I will probably start to think that he came up a different path and will he said he was gonna have 2 hours worth of time. So once I feel like there's probably like 20 minutes left, if he hasn't shown up yet, I'll go ahead and start heading up because I figure he's probably heading up, and we just missed each other in the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And if I get up there and he's not there, then I might get worried. But I mean, he's a shark, so I think he's probably okay.
Finnegan's
Okay.
fine. He's done nothing to possibly get himself killed at any point in this campaign.
I mean, yeah, but even if he has, there's not much I can do about it.
That's a good point, actually. Very good point.
So, I mean, he's already died once, so.
Yeah.
Rip Finnegan.
Okay. And meanwhile, Czar and Kinley are in the forge, hammering away, tinkering away, making stuff. You get one of those like, haven't seen Finnegan and Shelley in a while. Lucy, is there anything that you would like to be getting up to?
Fight, 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 fight.
Seeing as she's not gonna be much use, and she could always go to get some training in, probably.
To the rungs.
She wouldn't compete in anything.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just training. Chill out. That's not her style.
Okay, so you're gonna head over to the training grounds. They're basically like small gymnasium kind of size buildings that you can do sparring with people and sort of like pick up fights essentially to just kind of work on your skills and practice maneuvers and all that fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So we'll do another round of diving, and then that should just about put you at your time, I think, with how many tunnels you've explored. And then I'm going to have to go back and trace all this out and make sure I'm keeping track of where you've gone and where you haven't in this giant labyrinth that I thought would be a good idea. Because
it was great up here. It was
like
great.
it'll be fantastic. You'll go down, you'll get lost, you'll get unlost, you'll get lost again. It'll be fun.
And then he just takes.
You'll go as a party with everyone breathing. It will take a little bit longer, but you'll go as a party.
It'll be great. We'll have a ton of fun.
Nah.
You forgot the fact that we can split it again, didn't you?
Well,
Finnegan.
no, not that
No.
you can split, just the fact that you have a proclivity for splitting.
Finnegan isn't much of like a group of 5 kind of person.
But no, you're fine. This will be good. You'll know where you're going. You'll lead everybody down. You won't get any kind of crazy wrong turns or anything. It'll be good. You're doing all the heavy lifting for the group. So you're gonna go back up to. No, I'm sorry. What are you? Are you going back up a room to look for another smooth room, or are you?
If 2 does not lead to a smooth room, yes. I believe
Okay.
you said it shrunk down and made me feel claustrophobic and turned to stalagmites.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going again. Oh, nope, I don't want to go back that claustrophobia. Nope, I really don't want to.
You really want to go down that tunnel.
Like,
You really do.
You like tight spaces, Finnegan. I know you do.
Okay. So that one's gonna dead end.
Come back up, and I'm just going to 3. I'm just going to pick it. I'm not going to roll it. I'm just going to
Mhm.
pick 3.
Okay, that one looks like it might be getting a little too tight for you to make it all the way through. You can see or what looks like it might be a cave on the other side, but it's a little tight, and you're not 100% sure if you'd get all the way through to the next room.
Not going to risk it. I'm going to check out 4 before I worry about it.
Okay, so that one,
Worry about it. Okay.
you get through, and it looks almost like halfway between the 2 kinds of rooms that you've seen. You've it's so far you've mostly been seeing either like raw stalagmite, stalactite, just open cave, like raw cave, or these couple of smooth rooms that you found. And this one looks like it's been almost half worked. There's still a couple of small stalactites and mites, but for the most part, it's been sort of smoothed down.
Gotcha. It's under construction. Gotcha.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of get like that sort of a vibe almost.
Couple more centuries, it'll be smoothed out. We'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
How many holes are in this giant area?
There's 6, and it looks like there's maybe 2 that might lead back up, plus the one that you came through, and
marked
then
that one.
3 that go either kind of out or down.
I marked the top one that I came through. Obviously, I'm not getting lost right now. I don't want to. And then you said 6. You said 2 that go up besides this one.
Yeah, that
So-
look like they would be upward trajectory.
So I have 3 to choose from. I pick 3.
Okay. Okay. So that leads you get through that one comfortably, and it leads into another smooth room.
Fantastic. I marked both sides.
Okay.
Back
You're-
down 3 we go.
You feel like you're starting to let's see, you take note that the next smooth room that you moved into, it's got 12 ways in and out. It's got
I hate you so much, Gil.
yeah,
You're
it's-
getting close. You're getting so close, Finny. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
well, it looks like the majority of them are upward trajectory. There's like 7 or 8 that look like they're either going upwards or look like they might be, and then there's only 4 or 5 that look like they're going either kind of out or downward.
I'm gonna mark the hole I came in out of, and I'm gonna call it good for now.
Okay.
Try to make my way through the holes I've marked, and make sure. I want to make sure as I'm going through the holes, make sure that they have been marked. They haven't gone amiss.
So you mark them pretty cleanly. You made sure that you got a good deep scratch into each of these tunnels. You got to make sure that you remember what your particular scratches look like. You didn't get to exactly like, you know,
Initial it?
initial your name. You didn't get to time and date it. But if you make a good solid note of what your identifying scratch looks like, you should be okay.
Mhm.
You work your way back up to Shelly, presumably. You're gonna go right back the way you came. You
Exactly.
eventually come back out to Shelly. You know your time's starting to run low at this point. So you kind of gesture to Shelly like,
Hey, Shelly. Yeah. There's a lot of shit down there. More talking once we get to oxygen. Let's go.
Like interesting shit?
No.
Like literal fish shit?
No.
Just
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lot. You think you're almost done, and lots and more tunnels.
huh.
But
Okay.
but I went down. I'm gonna assume another 1,000 feet worth of tunnels.
yeah,
That's a lot of tunnels.
with the amount of downward trajectory, yeah, you're pretty deep.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
went
lot of
down.
tunnels.
Yeah, in the hour and 10, 20 minutes I was down there. Woo, lot of tunnels. I made a good headway. I went down pretty far. Probably tomorrow or another day. Give me another shot at this. See if I actually hit the bottom, or maybe hit the halfway mark. Who really knows on how deep this thing is? I don't.
All right. Maybe we can find something else that we can help to do that too.
Oh,
Like-
uh,
Dye
Yeah.
pack or something. Maybe we can watch the flow of the water or something.
yeah. Could have started with that. That might have been good.
I mean, honestly, I kind of thought we'd get down here and I'd use my cool new tattoo and be like, and we'd find everything that we needed. Like this is a little overwhelming. Like,
I'm just letting you know it might work if you go down like 2,000 feet more. Who knows? But right now we're gonna go up, and I'm gonna not be dependent
you want your
on
legs
this
back?
Well, that, and also I don't want to change into my normal self underwater and drown.
Yeah, no, that would be bad.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
cool.
go then. Thanks.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, here we go.
So you swim back up to the surface through wide open spaces of the
Mm.
greater well. All this room to stretch your fins and no more wiggling through. With the amount of like dead ends and tight tunnels and things that you've encountered, you start to realize why so many people who have attempted to explore the tunnels have been lost. Like they wind up getting themselves wedged in somewhere. They push too deep. They pop their bubble, scraping on a stalactite. That kind of nonsense.
I could see the problem with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're just like, okay, so that's why they're a little skittish about the whole tunnel thing. But you eventually get yourselves back up to the surface. return your capo water breathing, get your deposit back. They're like, so how'd the training go?
Oh, we got loads of stuff done. A lot of it seems counterintuitive, but trust me, a lot of stuff was done underwater.
Great. Then swing
I
by if you want to
investigate.
get into some more.
Rough. I'm gonna need a long rest after that. Woo.
Mm.
And proceeds to see you tomorrow morning, Shelly. Same spot
Yeah.
as always. And I'm gonna make my way to my playground.
And I'm gonna stick Pistachio into the little pocket dimension I've got to keep him safe,
Mm-hmm.
and see if I can go buy some charcoal.
Okay.
I love your naming sense. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I was thinking I might need to change it to Finessa, or maybe Oprah Finfrey,
Mm-hmm.
but
No, pistachios.
Pistachio is
No.
definitely growing on me.
I'm
Yeah,
liking it. It's good stuff.
Fish Leisha.
What are you gonna name it if it turns into a bird?
It's Meryl Cheap.
Oh, okay.
That is the
I
bird.
forgot. I totally forgot. My apologies.
She's my parrot, my pirate parrot.
What is it gonna be if it turns into a dog or or hunting animal of sorts, whatever you want to call it?
I will have to get back to you on that.
Okay. Just want to get your mind open and thinking.
Okay. So you are gonna go back over to the Arctic room and do that again.
Yep. I like to cause myself pain.
Okay. How deep are you gonna push that?
I'm gonna probably take it to where 4 or 5 notches, worst case scenario. If I don't get it on the first understanding, I'm gonna probably just give it one more shot, see if I can get to the realization.
Okay. Do 3 Constitution saves and then a nature check, and we'll see where you stand, and then we'll see if you need to push deeper.
If I'm standing, that is.
If you're still standing. Okay. So the first level of difficulty, you shrug off the cold pretty confidently. Same with the second. You're one with the storm. Third one, not so much.
I'm feeling it.
Um,
I felt it. I felt the third one.
So it kicks up to the third level, and that cold just kind of like cuts right through you. You're gonna take 12 damage off of that.
Woo! Loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
But you can go ahead and make a nature check for the third tier. Okay. Well, with the bit that you learned yesterday, going all the way to 5 levels plus the nature check and what you did today, you feel like there's definitely something to pull out of this, but you're not like it's just a little bit outside your grasp. You're not quite there. You want to keep pushing deeper.
I'll see if I can go another round without dying.
Okay. Make another con save.
Yeah. Nope. I'm gonna be on my knees and I'm gonna take that amulet off after that damage.
That's 13 damage.
Yep. We're gonna cozy up with a nice warm blanket tonight. Probably cry a little bit knowing that shit ton of work tomorrow with tunnels, freezing again.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
Okay. And then let's see. What are we gonna have you do? Lucy, for the training that you went off to do, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
I'm
Okay.
gonna need 15 attack rolls. No,
Athletics. Oh fuck, that was a no. Oh, why did it have to be a nat 1? Fuck
Okay.
you, game.
So,
I'm
you
rusted as hell.
not being overly familiar with the training grounds and the fact that you're a keeper, they toss you in with some of the more seasoned students at the school, and they soundly kick your ass. It's just a training fight, so you don't really come away with anything more than a bruised ego and bruises.
Oh,
They don't
she's gonna
like
be
slice you up
mad.
or anything too bad like that. Um, but they give you a sound whooping and kind of send you on your way from a long day of sparring and combat. That was an unfortunate natural one.
Oh,
Ass kicking. Straight up.
I'm not following your advices ever again.
Hey,
Screw that.
all I'm saying is I didn't do the rolling, okay? And if I did, I'd re-roll it.
I can't.
I know. I said if I did the
But
rolling.
he can. Um, which, by the way, have you mentioned your Arctic training to anyone else in the group?
Oh, absolutely not. No, they just know that I'm hanging out in the playground, and at least Jenny knows.
I don't even know.
Shelly knows because I mentioned they have cool amulets.
Okay, but like, did you describe it at all or anything, or did you just mention like, oh, they got these amulet things and they?
Yeah, that was it. You know,
Okay,
like they have amulets. They might help you with the water thing. That's what I
okay,
said. Like,
yeah, I was just checking. Just want to make sure I'm keeping everybody looped in with what they should know when they should know it. Um, that's all. That's all. Um, so let's see here. We'll get. What are we looking at for time here? It's almost midnight. So we'll go ahead and get a smithing check from Czar and 2 from Kinley for the work that you're doing on your various weapons and things.
All right.
And then I think maybe we'll call it a night here.
Do I have advantage working with all these people?
Yes, they're helping you extensively. So
Why didn't that roll with advantage?
no, I don't know.
Ugh. That's the first one. The second one.
Okay.
So a 12 and a 20.
So the repeating pistol that you were working on,
Yep.
you've got a functional prototype, but the mechanism is a little shaky. It has a small tendency to jam a bit when it goes to load the next round in. It's something that you're confident you can get ironed out, but this prototype that you've got in hand ready to fire, it's just a little unpredictable, but it's at least functional. The rifle, you're confident that this first prototype is solid. You could take this into battle without hesitation.
Cool. Well, I will clean up the rifle, and I will test out the pistol, see what's wrong with it, and start making modifications.
Okay. I think we've lost Czar. I know he wasn't feeling good either.
No, he was not.
So we may have lost him for the evening. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We'll resume with you guys here in Soga next week, looking to potentially do some more well diving. We'll do another round of prototyping on the weapons, get up
Yeah.
to any other shenanigans you want to get up to, and then move from there.
Yeah, obviously be working on building ammunition as well and stuff.
Yeah, they'll start trying to cast various kinds of
Yeah.
lead shot and things that you can experiment with. Depending on what kind of ammunition you want to try to chase after,
Yeah.
in terms of design and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, basic for now. We want to get working ammunition, and then we'll work on special ammunition.
Okay. So unless there's anything else anyone wants to take care of tonight in an explicitly kind of pressing matter, we'll wrap it up here. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you to my players for putting up with my ridiculousness, as I so often subject you to. And we'll see everybody next week.
See you, everybody.
Ta-da!
Good seeing y'all. Until next time.
Until the next time.
Yep. Tomorrow there is.
The
Yes.
Unclaimed.
Yeah, the Unclaimed.
Mhm.
And back Saturday, we're back to our Saturday morning campaign, which I always forget the name of.
Unlawful Disorder.
Yes, Unlawful Disorder. And Saturday night, we hit the Chaos again. Circle back to Sunday for more Cunning Limited. And then back to Tuesday, where we get to Beekeepers again.
Yay!
So until next time, everybody, we love your faces. Remember, hit that sub button, hit that follow button you haven't already. We hit 100 subs. I'll be giving away a Wormwood dice tower and dice tray. So look forward to that. We hit 100 subs, so spread the word. Take care, everybody. Love your faces. We are.
Are we?